To San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium, a sellout crowd expected tonight, but that's nothing new. They love their football here in San Diego. It's an important meeting between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Diego Chargers. Much on the line tonight, and so much on the line for the San Diego Chargers. They are 4-4 on the season. A loss tonight and whatever playoff aspirations they might be holding would be dimmed considerably. Meanwhile, as you see at the top, Denver with a win over the Raiders is on top at 8-1. Then it is the Raiders 7-2, a win by Seattle tonight. And they'll be one game behind Denver, tied with the Raiders. And there is a man who has won wherever he has been. The only NFL coach, as you can see, to be coach of the year. 3 different teams, the Rams, the Buffalo Bills. His second year now at Seattle. And the 8th year of Seattle's existence, he took them to the playoffs, lost in the AFC title game. Don Coryell is a winner. He is the only coach who has won 100 games at the collegiate level and the professional level. Very intense. We are ready to go. San Diego will receive to your left. And dropping deep, Lionel James, a rookie 5th-round draft pick out of Auburn. He's back there with Buford McGee, another rookie, 11th-round draft pick out of Mississippi. And Norm Johnson, who's having a tremendous year in the place-kicking department for Seattle, is set to get things underway. Both teams are suffering from multiple injuries. We'll talk about them as we progress. Frank Gifford along with Don Meredith and O.J. Simpson underway from San Diego. Lionel James, the rookie from Auburn, at the 4-yard line. And nailed as he moves over the 15. It'll be 1st down and 10, and out comes Dan Fouts, one of the toughest, most courageous, and gifted quarterbacks ever to play this game of professional football. Last week, over 400 yards in a losing cause against the Raiders, 44-37. But tonight, it's questionable whether Wes Chandler will play. He's injured. It's questionable about Holohan, the tight end, and the backup to Kellen Winslow, who is lost for the year with an injury last year. So he'll have people like Jesse Benroth, a rookie from Alabama, Bobby Duckworth, number 82. But the bright spot has been Ernest Jackson, number 41, the running back for the Chargers. This goes to Severs, and Severs on the very first play will pick up 7 yards out over the 23-yard line. As we look at a defense, good, strong pass rushing defense. They have 32 sacks, does this team. Their defense has scored 4 times. They have 17 interceptions, 17 fumble recoveries. Opportunistic, you better believe it. Dan Fouts. Don, you quarterbacked yourself, one of the tough people you'll ever meet.
I really love his attitude, Frank. He's all the injured players. He says, I don't care. Somebody's going to be open. We got somebody out there. And that first play was a good example. This is what they've been doing a little bit better this year that they haven't done, is that running. They found a runner in Jackson that kind of a surprise to them.
This time Jackson stopped short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 2. As Ernest Jackson, an 8th-round draft pick a year ago out of Texas A&M, did little or nothing a year ago. But look what he's done this year. Through 8 games, the leading rusher in the AFC.
One of the things you should watch as far as Seattle is concerned, number 77, Jeff Bryant, and number 79, Jacob Green, the defensive ends, they're going to be trying to rush up the gut to keep Fouts from stepping up and getting inside passing lanes. They want him to go left or right.
3rd and short, and how about that? The Chargers pick up the 1st down. Jackson hurtling forward behind Masik. McKnight, the powerful right guard, gets the 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 29-yard line. The injuries I spoke of, Ralph Benershka, he is back tonight. Surgery, kidney stone removed 3 weeks ago. Wes Chandler, I doubt if we'll see him. He hasn't worked all week long. He has a very sore knee. Tim Fox is going to try and go. Ken Green, both safeties, Fox and Green, are going to try to go. And, of course, the key injuries to the Chargers, their receivers. Gone is Kellen Winslow. Holohan probably unavailable, as is Cameron. Good move by Jackson. Or that is not Jackson out of the backfield. That is the youngster, Lionel James.
I even hate to mention this, but I think I see Eric Severs, one of the healthy receivers, limping a little bit. He made the first reception. See him getting up, moving around a little bit. They can't lose anymore. They're going to have Charlie Joyner playing tight end.
Well, they are down to the bottom of the barrel, and I think they said, O.J., that they were willing to play Charlie Joyner at tight end. It doesn't make any difference. They'll get him in a pass pattern some way.
He's not going to do much blocking in there.
I would think not.
Not on short yardage situations, right?
2nd down and 5 at the 33-yard line. Fouts. And the transplanted Denver Bronco, gets a first down inside Seattle territory, and a flag comes down late.
That's one of those things. Early in the game, the adrenaline's pumping real hard. That was John Harris, I think, that just came in a little bit late. Extracurricular activities going to cost him.
Our referee tonight, Dick Jorgensen. Here's the message.
5 yards, face mask foul, number 44, defense, first down.
That is Dick Jorgensen, in spite of the graphic. Long-time official.
He used to be Dick Jorgensen. Yeah, he used to be Dick Jorgensen. I remember that.
At the 44-yard line, first down, San Diego. Ernest Jackson, the single setback. That's Charlie Joyner. What a marvelous career he's had as we watch Ernest Jackson right side. And Jackson maybe gets 2. It'll bring up second down and long. Jacob Green, whom O.J. mentioned a moment ago, tied at the other end defensively for Seattle at 7.5 sacks. But Jacob Green is the complete player. He plays that strong side where most teams run. Most teams still remain right-handed. They like to run to the right, and Green can put the pressure on, a la Mark Gastineau, but also plays the run very well. Second down, we'll call it 8. Ball inside the 43-yard line. No score if you just joined us. San Diego and Seattle.
That 4-down lineman.
Fouts. And he tried to get the ball to Holohan. Holohan, questionable. You can see the slightest trace of a limp there. Very severely sprained ankle a week ago. It did not work much this past week, and he comes off.
I love what Danny Fouts said today when Holohan was hurt last week. He was limping off on his sore ankle, and the play they had called had to have Holohan as a tight end. Fouts says, no, I'm sorry, you can't go off right now. Come back in here and line up at tight end, and he did.
Third down and 8. Sievers, we are told, has a sore knee. The one reception, so he now might be questionable. Long count. Van Fouts possibly changing off. Looking deep, reading a blitz, hangs it up high, and man, off the fingertips. It was Bobby Duckworth who can really fly. Dan Fouts told us this morning that he likes the way he goes after a ball. He says, I'll hang it up and he'll run under it. That time, perhaps a yard too far.
That day, he put it up there, though. He got pretty good pressure that time from what O.J. said. They had 4-down linemen that time, O.J., and they kind of did the inside out. The ends came up the middle, and the tackles went to the outside. So,
yeah, they brought big Mike Fanning in, and Mike put a little pressure on him. If he could have held the ball a little longer, he could have maybe made the reception.
Maury Buford to kick. One of the greats has dropped. Kenny Easley. Paul Johns, ordinary returner, wide receiver. Injured for Seattle. He's not back there, but Kenny Easley came into tonight leading the AFC with a 13-7 average in punt returns. So we've got a timeout on the field. We'll be back with Seattle's first possession of the evening. Seahawks defeated the San Diego Chargers in their first meeting some 6 weeks ago, second game of the season, 7 weeks ago rather. They defeated San Diego 31-17. A lot of turnovers in that game by San Diego. First down and 10 for the Seahawks, and Franco Harris piled up the line of scrimmage, and a fired-up San Diego defense. But, well, they should be. They have taken a lot of abuse this year, both in the press and on the field. There's our quarterback, Dave Krieg. We talked about him in the opening. Came in the 8th game of last year and took the Seahawks all the way to the AFC Championship game. An offensive line that is solid. It is a Chuck Knox offensive line. He has molded it. Chuck Knox, if you follow him over the years, plays conservative football. This year, without the great Kurt Warner, who was injured in the first game, he has had to throw the ball more than he would like to. That's Krieg, and this is Randall Morris, the rookie out of Tennessee, and a swarming Charger defense moves out to make the stop. And there is the 3-4 defense that you see from the San Diego Chargers.
That was Lyndon King, the linebacker there, that made that tackle. They didn't fool old Lyndon that time, did they? And got two good ones in the middle, haven't they, Frank?
Oh, do they?
Green and Smith.
Got them both last year. Green was a 9th-round draft pick, and Billy Ray Smith, the son of the great Billy Ray Smith, who played all those years at Baltimore, out of Arkansas, is the other one. They got him in the first round. It's 3rd down and 8 now for Seattle. From the shotgun, Krieg. Pressure on Krieg, but he slides to the right and gets it out quickly to Darrell Turner, the rookie from Michigan State. And he'll be short of the first down, and the punting unit will come on. And the San Diego fans are something special. Giving a huge ovation to their defense for stopping Seattle in the first series.
I think Darrell Turner didn't realize he was out of bounds.
Well, they had Big Lee Williams, number 99, who they just picked up. He was a former LA Express. He came right up the middle. And old Dave Krieg didn't have much opportunity to do anything but drop the ball off.
Little man back there, 5'6", 171-pounder. That's Lionel James, the 5th-round draft pick out of Auburn. Led the nation in punt returns back in 1982. And Jeff West puts one up high. And the special teams for Seattle are very special indeed. Jeff West hanging it high. Lionel James probably could have got a return out of that. Got that hand up for the fair catch a little prematurely. We'll be back in a moment. First down and 10. San Diego, second possession of the night. The ball just out over their own 26-yard line. Ernest Jackson, single setback. That's Joyner, number 18 in motion. And here's Jackson. And good pursuit. Slipping in behind to make the stop was the nose tackle, Joe Nash. He has 5 sacks himself. Kind of surprising. Joe Nash, he has really come on.
Yeah, it's tough to get sacks from that nose tackle position because you're getting double teamed all the time. Get 5 sacks. They say he is the most improved player on this football team.
There he
Joe
is.
Nash, 72.
Out of Boston College. Second down and 11 now. There was a loss on the play of 1. Lionel James, the rookie from Auburn, into the lineup. And this is Lionel James. And Lionel James gets in trouble. And then out of it, he was hit by Terry Jackson, slid off Jackson, and gets back out over the line of scrimmage for a gain of a couple. It'll still be long yardage, however, as Jeff Bryant peeled out there from defensive right end.
Let's attribute that gain to a low center of gravity.
He got outside. You know, with these defensive ends from the Seahawks rushing inside, trying to keep up Fouts from stepping up into the pocket, you would think on first down or second down, it would be easier to get outside on running plays.
Third down and 7. Severs is back in the game. Number 85, the tight end, bruised his knee on the very first play of the game. Fouts with a little quick step. He'll throw from about 4.5 yards back. He fires it, and it goes complete to Lionel James. James, 5'6", 172-pounder. And a 5th-round draft pick out of Auburn. Gets a 15-yard pickup and a first down for San Diego.
And they should have got another pass.
John Harris again.
John Harris. This team is a physical defensive team for the Seahawks. They get a lot of turnovers. They led the league in fumbles last year, fumble recoveries, 28. And they try to play physically rather. And as you can see, watch this play. Now, right here, he's out of bounds. Now, that's maybe a tad
taking it a little too far.
The first down is at the 46-yard line of San Diego. Still no score. We have 8:10 remaining in the first quarter. Fouts. This slides right in and gets it incomplete to Charlie Joyner. And every time Joyner makes a reception, he is drawing ever closer to the leader all time in the history of the NFL, Don Maynard. Don Maynard, 633 receptions, and that was the 624th reception of this man, 16-year veteran Charlie Joyner.
Look at Keith Butler, 53. And that ball had to be just perfectly thrown, drilled right in there. Butler was pretty close, but not close enough.
Fouts now 4 of 6, 55 yards, but he has not scored in the first drive. He was trying to figure today if they hadn't scored on each of the first drives all season. Lionel James wants to throw the ball.
He threw it the wrong guy
back there. And coming down with the football, it is Kenny Easley. Kenny Easley's second interception of the season. And the best you can say about that, Seattle's going to be deep in their own territory inside their 5. That's intended for Bobby Duckworth from Lionel James.
Well, you know, he always has the option to run if he wants. He wasn't nowhere to run, but he certainly shouldn't have thrown it. It was double team, and Easley was just waiting for the ball. It was jump ball, and being a good high school basketball player, he came down with it. 0-0 first quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
And a boy, and All-American at UCLA. The last 2 years in the Pro Bowl. Boy, what a pair they were in Los Angeles. Ronnie Lott at USC, Kenny Easley at UCLA. They're the best. First and 10 from the 4-yard line. Krieg hands off to the youngster, Randall Morris. And Morris gets out over the 10-yard. Nice pickup of about 7. It'll be up second down and 7. Morris is in there with Eric Lane, who took over for Kurt Warner when he was hurt. Eric Lane has a very sore knee. So we're watching Randall Morris get a workout tonight, a youngster from Tennessee, a part-time starter at Tennessee. Last year, averaged 5.2 and gained nearly 500 yards for the Volunteers. As a 10th round draft pick for Seattle. On 2nd and 3, Morris again. And Morris works hard close to the 15-yard line and a Seattle first down.
Well, I had dinner with Reggie McKenzie. He said that Morris was a more than decent running back. He said he had a little okey-doke. He can make guys miss. He says he has a tendency maybe to fumble a little bit when they were, in practice in the preseason, but said he could be a good back.
Franco's not gotten off to, he hasn't really gotten in stride yet. He's got like the lowest per average carry, but he hasn't fumbled all year, Franco Harris.
It is Franco Harris right now on first down. And tries to break it back inside, runs into a lot of trouble. Lyndon King coming up underneath that pile, makes the stop after Harris picks up a couple of yards.
Well, the Seahawks, they don't have the scheme of running the ball that Franco is accustomed to. He's from a system that ran a lot of counters, a lot of quick stuff inside, a lot of traps. And Chuck Knox's teams are teams that they like to get outside and they like to run power plays, off tackle, and some traps, but not certainly the way Pittsburgh did.
2nd down and 8. Largent split to the left. Krieg looking it over. Goes to Randall Morris, and he is piled up. Maybe got to the line of scrimmage before the surge headed by Billy Ray Smith and Lyndon King drilled him back close to the 10-yard line.
It is fun to listen to the crowd. They're cheering this team. They're tired of seeing those guys move the other guys move the ball up and down the field.
Well, this is the ideal offense for this defense. They're last in all of football in stopping the run, and this, stopping the pass, and this is a running team. So they're glad they have a team that's not going to put the ball up in the air too much.
3rd down and 11, and we'll see the shotgun as Dave Krieg, the free agent from 5 years ago from Little Milton College. And Krieg with a good shot, gets it in, makes the completion, and coming down with it is Brian Walker, third-year man out of Citadel, and he'll have yardage for the first down, a 13-yard pickup as we look at it from behind in the end zone.
It's one of the reasons I know I'm never going to coach it, because I can't understand why on 3rd down, when it's long passing down, they put all those guys back in there and give them all those zones. 6 backs, rushed a couple of guys. I'd give him a lot of pressure every time.
San Diego's defense very strong, except for the 3rd and long. At the 27-yard line, first down and 10, Seattle. Still no score. Krieg hangs one up there. That'll get ice on it. Gerald Turner, the rookie speedster out of Michigan State, comes down with it. He came into tonight with only 14 receptions, but averaging over 20 yards of reception. He has 5 touchdowns out of those 14 receptions also. Dangerous.
Krieg lays this one right in, though, Jay.
The beautiful plays, the big play receiver, as Frank just mentioned. He has 5 touchdowns. They said he has a little trouble with bump and run, and I think after this play for the rest of the night, someone better come up to the line of scrimmage and bump him a little bit.
Be heavier on the bump before he gets to the run.
They got him in the 2nd round. He also was a great long jumper. Had one long jump of nearly 27 feet, so you know he has the speed. That represents Seattle's longest pass play of the season. And now we have a mix-up. And San Diego wants timeout. So Seattle, as Dave Krieg moves over to visit with Chuck Knox, has a first down and 10. They're at the 13-yard line of the Chargers.
Under this, the Seattle Seahawks' first victory ever over the San Diego Chargers, following 8 losses, came on a Monday night in 1981, when the Seahawks won the game 44-23.
3:25 remaining from San Diego. No score in the first quarter. Seattle now with a first down and 10. There's the Chargers' 13-yard line. This is Randall Morris. And Morris fights his way down close to the 10-yard line before John Turner takes him there. A gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
It's a case where a young back, he's been practicing to stretch that sweep out. More experienced back, I think, would have seen right away there was no chance for him to get outside, and maybe he would have turned up. Is that number 27?
John Turner, I think.
John Turner, and The injuries continue for the Chargers. What a rush of them they had last week against the Raiders in a really bitterly fought game as the Raiders came out on top. They had to win 44-37, but the Chargers were right down there at the end. And here is young Grave Krieg. We told you he took over from Jim Zorn midway through last season and got the Seahawks into the first playoff game he had ever been, and they went all the way to the AFC Championship where they lost to the Raiders. Coming in tonight, rated 4th in the NFL, is Dave Krieg. They continue to work on John Turner. He started last week because of an injury to Danny Walters. So we'll be moving on to the nation's capital a week from tonight. Atlanta going against Washington, Theismann and Riggins, and they're going to be smarting a little from yesterday, I would think, the Redskins.
And Atlanta's going to be smarting a little bit
from the last couple of weeks.
Hey, who beat Washington?
See, I didn't say it.
I tell you, the Giants jumped all over them, didn't they?
Second down and 8, Seattle. 3:20 remaining in the first quarter. No score from the shotgun. It'll be Krieg. 8th play of this drive. Krieg wide open is Largent. That's the 5th consecutive time that Largent on his first reception has put points on the board. He is kind of amazing. He does not have the speed. He has great hands, however, and tremendous moves.
Yeah, but the 5th game in a row he's got a touchdown, but the 5th time on his first reception of the game, maybe they wait till they get him around the goal line before they throw to him. He really did a nice job on his man. He just took him upfield a little bit, turned in, gave him a little outside move, then turned in and was wide open.
He works so good down here because the defenders have to come up and play him so tight, and he can turn them around, spin them around like a top. Saddle on the scoreboard first, and this is Norm Johnson to make it 7-0. 3:16 remaining in the first quarter. But the big play, the bomb to Darrell Turner that took it all the way down to the 13-yard line. We'll be right back. Steve Largent, his 4th touchdown of the year, his 32nd of a very young career as he creeps ever closer to 10th-ranked Bobby Mitchell. And that culminated the longest drive Seattle's had all year long. 96 yards they went. Johnson hits it. And this is Lionel James from the 1-yard line. And James gets tangled up at the 15, sprawls out to the 17. It'll be first down and 10, San Diego. And there is Largent.
He caught an awful lot from that guy on his left, too, Jim Zorn. Oh, boy, look what's back. Hey. All right.
You're going to see a long black line there. That represents the shot from Krieg to the outstanding rookie from Michigan State, Darrell Turner. First down and 10. 18-yard line. Jackson, a lot of strength for a 205-pounder. Gets out over the 20-yard line, close to the 22. Gain of about 4. It'll bring up second down and 6. Shelton Robinson defensively there, the leading tackler for the Seahawks, made the stop. San Diego, so much on the line tonight. They're way down there in the standings in this Western Division of the AFC that has not got a losing team into the night in the entire division. That's Jackson again over the right side. This time held short for a pickup of a couple. It'll bring up third down and a long 3 for Dan Fouts. Joe Nash defensively there for Seattle. The time remaining in the first quarter. Time ticking away. Chargers the Bears, only NFL teams to score in the first quarter in every game this season.
I love this.
Well, the Chargers are in jeopardy here tonight.
Third down and 3. Lionel James is in. Ernest Jackson is out. Fouts in trouble. And he got Lionel James. And James makes a spectacular one-handed catch.
He did.
A great effort by Fouts to get it to him. And James is going to have the first down at the 30-yard line.
Nice going, Little Train. This is one where Danny was trying to go downstairs somewhere, and he just couldn't do it. You see Jacob Green come in on one side, and you got a little bit more pressure from Jeff Bryant on the other, but look at that catch by James.
Good moves. Little man, 5'6", 172-pounder. But to stay strong, he'll have to be around.
Have to be is right.
First down and 10. Jackson back in. A setback. That's Egloff in motion. Jackson piled up. Maybe gets a yard out of it, the middle of the Seattle line.
You know, we asked Danny this morning, you know, what happened up in Seattle when you guys played them earlier in the year? And he said, well, we went in there with a game plan. We were going to really run. And we got so far behind, we didn't change the game plan. And it looks like they're running a lot more than what I expected. We got another Charger.
Dennis McKnight, the right guard, very slow getting up. Dennis McKnight has just battled his way into a starting position. As a matter of fact, they had to get him in the lineup, so they took Ed White, a right guard, moved him out to right tackle. And now Dennis McKnight is being treated on the field. I don't recall, but I think John Brody is around about, what, 14 years?
Something like that. Congratulations. He used to actually shack balls for Brody up in the 49er area there when he was a kid.
Second down and 8 for the San Diego Chargers at their own 32-yard line. Jackson to the 35, where it'll be third down and 5. Dan Fouts, some 1,200 yards behind Fran Tarkenton, who holds the NFL record for completions. He stays healthy. That'll disappear quickly. Dennis McKnight comes back into the game. Darrell Goforth came in for a moment to give McKnight a little bit of a breather.
Well, unless they throw the bomb now, the Bears are going to be the only team left with a perfect first quarter for scoring.
Well, the good news is that's really going to have a whole lot to do with whether they get to the Super Bowl.
A lot of movement there, and Dan Fouts was not pleased at all with Jacob Green. I think Green was just kind of patting him on the head, and Dan Fouts is a competitor. He said, I don't let them be too friendly out here. I think Jacob Green just kind of bumped him a little. Fouts went down.
Stars number 67, offense.
That man is saying, what did you do to Danny?
Hey, don't slap my quarterback.
Don't you slap my quarterback.
That was Ed White with a false start on the right side.
He is a fiery competitor.
Misleading, too, when you meet him in person. He's quiet, very gentle. Something transforms him, however, when he goes out on the football field.
It's the helmet. It's too tight.
All those guys after his body.
False start on Ed White. Backs him up 5. It's third down and 10. Joyner, motion. Fouts hanging another one up.
Too far.
This one for Jesse Bendros, the rookie from Alabama. Good coverage provided back there. Paul Moyer in the nickel defense.
If you're going to miss him, he's missing them in the right place. He's missing them deep. They're not going to be intercepted that way.
1 second now remaining in the first quarter. Kenny Easley dropping back. Kenny Easley has not been returning punts. They did not when Paul Johns, the wide receiver, was healthy, but at UCLA, he set a school record there as a junior in doing so. Just a great athlete. Kenny Easley is dropping now for the punt of Maury Buford. Easley at about the 30-yard line of Seattle. Buford, fine kick, takes Easley back to the 25. Easley dancing out over the 25-yard line, and he'll get Seattle field position at the 31-yard line as time expires here in the first quarter. We'll be back in San Diego in a moment.
Yeah.
I know you're a historian. 2 men are here tonight who played in this ballgame. USC versus Washington, October the 29th, 1949.
All right, I'd say Frank Gifford and, Don, I would have said Gabby Hayes.
Oh, come on. Don Coryell is one for the Washington Huskies, and on the other side, whoa, goodness. Oh, my God.
Notice the hairdo.
Oh, that is too pretty.
I was very precocious.
Who won the game?
49. I think McElhaney ran a punt back 95 yards, and they won. First down and 10. Seattle at the 31-yard line. They lead 7-0 over the San Diego Chargers. This is Randall Morris, the rookie. A little quick screen out to the left, and Morris turns it into a 5-yard pickup before Billy Ray Smith slides out there from linebacker to Naily. Numbers for you, of course, the big numbers for Seattle, a 96-yard drive that culminated with a Krieg shot to Largent for the touchdown. Their longest drive of the season. Again, Seattle defeated San Diego in their first meeting, 31-17. They picked Danny Fouts off 4 times. They recovered 4 fumbles. Second down and 5 at the 36-yard line.
Look at here.
Harris.
Oh.
And down goes Harris. He's in the arms of Gifford. Franco, of course, a big story early in the year. Contract problems with Pittsburgh. Right after the first game, they picked up Franco Harris. At that time, he was the one you thought was going to be able to get to Jim Brown, but Walter Payton, who went over 1,000 yards yesterday, he is the man that is now running out of sight of Franco Harris. Those are the knee injuries we spoke of earlier that have plagued the Seattle Seahawks. Paul Johns has really hurt them. Michael Jackson, the linebacker, and of course the great Kurt Warner. Third down and 3. That's Caster in motion from the shotgun. Krieg slides one underneath, and I'll tell you, that was a shot to Darrell Turner, the rookie, that he had to throw absolutely perfect, and he did.
And Turner had to catch it, didn't he? Because it was going to go right through
I think you see a rookie mistake here. All he has to do is get upfield about 1 more yard, and he would have been assured of a first down.
Gifford was right there on him. Gifford is, they've had so many injuries we've been talking about. Gifford's the only guy in the secondary for San Diego to start every game this year. They've been shifting around, but Gill has been able to stay healthy and stay in one position.
Has he ever, too? He had 3 interceptions. 2 of them he's returned for touchdowns.
Well, one of them he returned 99 yards for a touchdown, and he missed a couple of quarters. He was so tired.
That's against Kansas City. 99 yards, but he covered about 120 doing so.
Boy, yeah, that is close.
Inches short.
Yeah. Well, they'll talk to Darrell Turner and say, next time, make sure you get enough yardage for the first down before you make your cut.
Now, this is some of the Chuck Knox philosophy, isn't it? I mean, a lot of coaches wouldn't do that, but there's no way Chuck's going to try to go for first down. That's 2 inches. He's not going to do it.
We had a quick look at Lee Williams there in the San Diego uniform. He played for the USFL Express this past year. Outstanding rookie out of Bethune-Cookman. They had an amiable contract settlement there, and he was the first pick in the supplemental draft by San Diego in June, and he is now in uniform in there on pass tonight. Big Lee Williams. Lionel James back for the punt of Jeff West. This time West hangs another one way out there that takes James all the way back to the 12-yard line. You get it that high, you're going to have a lot of people down under, and that was a beautiful punt. 47 yards, but it hung up there forever. Back in San Diego in a moment.
I wonder what that means.
I have no clue. At the 16-yard line, San Diego first down and 10. They trail 7-0. We're in the early going here in the second quarter, and Dan Fouts is back. It's the screen out to Ernest Jackson.
Oh, that was well played.
And Jackson is taken by Joe Nash. I told you earlier that it was Seattle 31-17 in the first meeting, and we talked to head coach Don Coryell, asked him if he had changed any game plan.
Well, not having Kellen Winslow and possibly Pete Holohan, also Wes Chandler, 3 of our starting 4 receivers, probably will mean that we'll run more. It'll probably mean that we'll use a 2-back set quite a bit instead of a single-back set.
Well, right now, there was a loss of 3, second down 13. Passing situation, we have the 1-back set. It's Jackson. He'll work on the right side, and down goes Jackson. Good defensive play there.
Was that Jacob Green that came in there?
It sure was.
Yeah, Jacob's the guy out of Texas A&M you talked about it earlier, Frank. It's his 5th year. But he really has just gotten better every year up there. And I think one thing that Chuck Knox says, you got to anchor it with somebody. And you got a guy like Green on one side. He has, what, 7.5 sacks? They spread those things around pretty well.
He's led Seattle in sacks each of his previous 4 years. He's leading once again, tied with Jeff Bryant. Third down and 10. Fouts with the short drop.
Yeah.
Joyner out of the 30-yard line. First down, San Diego, and Joyner with a 14-yard pickup. He is still healthy, and he's up there. He's long in the tooth. 16 years he has been playing this game. Started at Houston, years at Cincinnati, and now
He's still doing an excellent job. He's another guy that's having a little trouble with bump and run this late in his career, but I think against the zone defense, he's still as good as any player playing today.
San Diego with the first down at the 30-yard line. They trail 7-0. Fouts loses the ball, pulling away from the center, and Seattle says they have it. They do have it.
They play heads-up defense.
They really do.
Like I said, last year they led the NFL in recovering fumbles, 28.
Basic and Fouts and a mix-up on the exchange from center, and Sheldon Robinson for the recovery. You'll see it clearly with this shot. We're in tight.
Danny started pulling away a little bit early. I think he saw the linebacker getting a running start on him.
And that thing will attract a crowd.
It certainly
I'll
does.
tell you what, we talk about Chuck Knox being conservative. Well, this is what he looks for. He said, let's not make any mistakes on offense, and the defense will make a break for us, and hey, we'll get it in the end zone.
Been his MO for so many years at the Rams, in Buffalo. And now again with Seattle. First down and 10 near the 27-yard line. This is David Hughes. And David Hughes is hammered out of bounds after a gain of a couple of yards. David Hughes, a fourth-year man out of Boise State.
Yeah, David's one of Chuck's kind of guys. He likes to put his head down and get that shoulder pad on tight and put his head and run over a couple of guys.
He better watch out if Lennon King's out there. That's who hit him first.
There was a whole lot of flash and a lot of colorful action and a lot of moving the football around, a lot of fancy stuff. You're not going to get it from Chuck Knox. What you're going to get are winners. He had 5 years with the Rams. He won the division each of the 5 years he was there. Went to the Bills for 5 years, won a division championship there, in the playoffs twice over that 5-year period. 2nd and 7. This is Morris, and Morris piled up at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play. Moving out there, Billy Ray Smith. And there is the man who fell on that football, inside linebacker Sheldon Robinson.
Way to go, Sheldon. Heads up.
It's funny to look at this Seattle team. They are somewhat conservative, even though I think they're throwing the ball a lot better this year, Don. But last year they didn't appear so conservative because Chuck Warner was such a dynamic ball player. You know, you take a simple sweep and make it look like a very fancy play.
Kurt Warner is one of a kind, isn't he?
3rd down and 7. Dornick comes in. He's in there now on the passing situation. Big number 33. Krieg trying to get it to Largent. And Largent was there, but Krieg was under pressure. He overthrows, and we're going to see the field goal unit come on. And boy, I'll tell you, Norm Johnson's having a year. He's having a career. He's 13 of 14 this year. Has missed only from 53 yards. Now has 9 in a row with a season best of 50 yards. And for his career, he's 41 of 50 after missing his first 3 in his rookie year in '82. Just a fine kicker. This will be a 42-yard attempt. Jim Zorn, whom Krieg replaced a year ago at quarterback, is the holder. On its way.
Right through there.
Norm Johnson is now 10 in a row, 14 of 15. And Seattle leads 10-0 with 9:08 remaining in the first half. Diego to take the kickoff of Norm Johnson. Lionel James, the rookie from Auburn, number 26. Buford McGee, the rookie from Mississippi, number 21. There's Johnson, who just hit from 42 yards out. Former UCLA Bruin. Whacks one deep. They like to get the ball to Lionel James, but he bobbles it at the 2. And James is buried out around the 6-yard line. I want to remind you, Saturday on CFA College Football, the exciting Doug Flutie guns for the all-time NCAA total offense record as 9th-ranked Boston College takes on Penn State, or 11th-ranked Auburn gets it on with 13th-ranked Florida. And then a week from Saturday, you'll see Coach Joe Morrison, my old teammate. Boy, he is some coach. He has South Carolina undefeated. They're 5th ranked in the country. They go against Florida State. Games will be seen live at 3:30 Eastern. Check your local listing for the game and time in your area here on ABC. And Doug Flutie only needs 141 yards for the record to take that away from Jim McMahon. And Dan Fouts looks it over, doesn't like it, calls timeout. And there is Norm Johnson. Came out of UCLA, missed his first 3 field goals, and after that, he has been 42 of 51. We'll be back in San Diego in just one moment. We're going to take just a moment and talk to a great pal of mine, Alex Webster. Of course, Alex Karras, who spent a lot of time with us up in the booth. You enjoyed being back?
Oh, I missed it a lot, you know, and I understand that the Greek owns this ball club down here. I could tell because he spent $37 million on this ball club and won't clean the carpets. But it's great to be back.
You know, you're strange.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am strange. You know why I'm here?
Why?
Because I told Steve Sunshine, the producer of Webster's show, that you'd be down kind of early. And he said, when? I said, Thursday, to shoot for Thursday. He says, can he memorize? I said, I don't know. And so he got scared. So I got a free trip down here in a limo and a box lunch.
I'm going to do a little Webster segment. Alex Karras is going to return to football. Webster doesn't like it. Or he loves it, I guess.
He kind of likes it.
First down and 10. Dan Fouts puts it out, complete. Goes out to the rookie from Alabama, Jesse Bendros, and Bendros up there close to first down yardage. You have fun with Webster?
It's fun. Webster's fun, and we're in our second year, and we're doing real well, and I'm kind of happy because I'm working with Susan, my darling wife, and it's a kick for me, really a kick.
What's the old about the old adage, never work with children? They'll steal it all.
Oh, no, it's not. In this case, it's okay. This kid is a terrific kid. He's from Brooklyn. He can't be all bad, right?
I'm really looking forward to it, Alex. Really am.
Well, we're looking forward to having you on.
Yeah, it's great to have you back here. Second down, short yardage. Jackson goes over the left side. You like to do a little color here while you're here?
I would love to because, you know, I happen to like both these teams that are playing. In San Diego, you know, it's always that great passer. Fouts can throw the ball anywhere, can score anytime.
Quickly,
so
who's playing?
Well, I mean, I know who's playing because Chuck Knox used to coach us in Detroit.
Right,
he was our offensive coach, and he's done a great job at Seattle.
Was he that conservative there, Alex?
He's always been conservative. He believes in that kind of football, and it's paid off for him. He wins more than he loses.
He believes in winning. That's what it is. First down and 10, and Fouts is back again, and that was almost picked off. Bruce Schultz sliding out there, almost made the interception right off his fingertips. Alex, I want to thank you for being with us. Look forward to being with both you and Susan.
Please show up, Frank. We need you badly.
You take care of him, though, Alex.
You
Here?
Yeah,
you take care of him when he's up there in Hollywood.
Nice to see John and the juice again.
Thank you.
How's your knee? One final question. How's the knee?
Not real good.
That's truthful.
Great to see you. Alex Karras, star now at Webster, spent some 3 or 4 years here in the Monday Night Football booth. For San Diego, down 10-0. Second down and 10. Jackson over the left side, and he gets out over the 20-yard line for a gain of a couple. And this is a tough Seattle defense, ranked 5th overall in the AFC. But it's a very opportunistic defense. O.J. touched on it. I've touched on it. Coming into tonight, 17 interceptions, 17 fumble recoveries, 4 defensive touchdowns this season. Last year they had 4 defensive touchdowns. Third down and 7. We're midway now through the second quarter.
They're not going to run this time, I don't believe.
Well, if you want to know why they're running, watch this pass rush.
Fouts with the short drop, and his receiver was knocked off. Kenny Easley got himself tied up with Jesse Bendros. Kenny Easley, he has learned an awful lot in a very short period of time. He just positioned himself, let Bendros run right into him, and that was the end of any possible completion for Fouts. Fourth down, Easley now will drop back close to Seattle's 35-yard line as Maury Buford comes on. Gifford has really improved. You see that 44.7 average. About 5 weeks ago, he's averaging over a little over 35 yards.
Oh.
Good punt by Buford. Easily from the 31.
He may...
One more man. He's got to pick up. He had the picket line set, but down he goes, and it was a good play by Ray Preston, or Easley might have gone a long way. San Diego will have a first down and 10 at the 30-yard line. They're down 10-0. Krieg has his best field position for a start thus far this evening. We asked him earlier about Seattle's best start ever. That, of course, this year. We asked him why.
Well, I think the addition of Chuck Knox has been a big factor. He's brought in a system, a way of making us believe in ourselves, believing in his system, and I think it's carried on throughout the team. And that's been the major factor, and he's made us believe that we can be winners. Last year we went out and proved that we could be a winning football team. We almost got to the Super Bowl, and this year what we did last year is just continuing on right now, and we're just trying to stay up with the Raiders and the Broncos and everybody else in the AFC West.
That handoff by Krieg to Hughes for a gain of a couple. And, of course, by staying up with Denver and the Raiders, a win tonight, and they move into a tie with the Raiders, one game behind the 8-1 Denver Broncos in the AFC's Western Division.
It's not terribly surprising to hear Craig be such a fan of Chuck Knox's, because I asked Chuck, I said, Chuck, you had a good guy with Zorno there. Why Craig? And he mumbled and stumbled around, and the best reason he gave me, he says he's got that little something. Let's call it charisma or something. He's got that something that says he's going to win.
Second down and 8. Randall Morris over the left side as whistles were blowing.
You know, Chuck Knox had another interesting thing.
False start, right guard, offense.
Talking about calling quarterbacks plays, and I never thought of it this way. He says everybody does it. He says, and number one, a guy by the time he gets to the pros usually has not had that much experience in calling his plays as he did 10 years ago. He said, I was out to a little league team, 9-year-olds, and they're sending the plays in from the sideline. He says, the guy gets the pros. He wants to start calling plays then? No way.
He says, what, me?
Yeah.
I've never done this.
Call what?
I tell you,
Seattle is backed up by 5 yards. It'll be second down and 14. Largent split right. Turner, the rookie from Michigan State, out to the left. Krieg. Hughes. And he turns back into a pack of blue shirts led by Lyndon King. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Channel 4, WTAE-TV, Pittsburgh.
5:42 remaining in the first half. Seattle struck quickly, and with a 96-yard drive, they connected Dave Krieg to Steve Largent for a 11-yard touchdown pass. Norm Johnson has added a 42-yard field goal, and at the moment, they lead the Chargers 10-0. Third down, 13. Shotgun. Krieg under pressure. Tries to go to the rookie Turner, and Gil Bird timed it and mistimed it right off his fingertips for the interception.
That was just a wind-up and throw.
Yeah, it was. I think Turner was a little surprised that he threw the ball to that side of the field because he was cruising, and he saw Bird gave him such a cushion that there was no way he could get by Bird.
I know Bird wanted the interception, but as it turns out, he probably was wise in not getting it because they may get more out of it on the punt return. Here's Lionel James back for Jeff West. These special teams of Seattle, they are really special. High kick by West. Fair catch called for by James at the 32-yard line. Another one he might have got a little something out of, but he does not. And San Diego will have field position at their own 32-yard line. A 41-yard punt by West. 5:02 remaining in the first half. San Diego still has not been able to get on the scoreboard. Very uncharacteristic for them. But again, they are playing without Kellen Winslow. They are playing without Wes Chandler. Pete Holohan has been in there just briefly. That's the tight end. Seavers in motion as Fouts is back. A lot of pressure, but he dumps it quickly off to Jackson. And Jackson puts the head down and hammers out over the 40-yard line. Coming up a yard short of a first down as Shelton Robinson and Keith Simpson were there defensively. That, of course, referring to Kellen Winslow, who still, even though he is not playing tonight, missed the game in a contract problem earlier, that game against Seattle, he still leads the league with 55 receptions. Fouts now 9 of 14 on the night, 88 yards.
They may have abandoned that run 3-yard stuff. Nope, here they come again.
Oh, and a tremendous hit by Jacob Green on Ernest Jackson, and you get an idea of the power. Jackson goes about 200 pounds. He hit him from the side and just froze his forward motion.
Well, on the play before that, you wonder why the Chargers are running the ball so much. Even on a quick drop-off pass, Jacob Green just nailed Dan Fouts.
He did.
This team is for 3 down linemen, Jeff Bryant 77, Jacob Green 79, and Joe Nash 72, probably are as good as any 3 down linemen as a group in the league.
Third down and 2 now. Jackson slips, tries to get forward for the first down.
Boy,
flags are down all over. And Jackson is down for what appears to be short of the first down. Even though he did scramble, he was not touched, and his progress will be allowed.
Lost his footing, didn't he?
He did. But again, flags are down. And this will be an interesting decision on the part of Seattle. Ralph Benershka back tonight. 3 weeks ago, kidney stone surgery. I remember back in '79, this young man, who was really a fine young man too, was near death from colitis. Twice he had surgery and came back, of course, to become the second now all-time leading field goal kicker in the history of the NFL. Holding, and it is called against Goforth, who was in the lineup. So they are short of the first down rather than back them up 10 to make it 3rd down and 11. Seattle declines the penalty. Gifford will punt. Easley is back. Gifford again with a fine punt. Easy all the way back inside the 5-yard line to the 2. And Easley tries the middle. Nothing doing there. Gets it outside, but he does get quarterback Dave Krieg some breathing room out close to the 18-yard line. That was a 57-yard punt by Gifford. Back in San Diego in a moment. Back in San Diego in a game that is so vital to San Diego. They're 4-4. They would fall to 4-5 with a loss tonight, and that would just about eliminate playoff possibilities for them. First down and 10, Seattle. They lead 10-0. 3:30 remaining in the first half. This is Randall Morris, and Morris is stacked up after about 3 or 4 yards. Boxing coming up. Boy, it's going to be a beauty. Thursday, November the 15th from New York City. The golden event in boxing history as 5 members of the '84 United States Olympic boxing team make their professional debut. Mark Breland, Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, Evander Holyfield, and Tyrell Biggs. And they're all going to be there on a spectacular card. You'll see it live Thursday, November the 15th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central. And you're going to see it right here on ABC, as you did this past summer. Watch the heroics of that group. 2nd down and 5. Randall Morris. And Morris, he is really pounded at the 25-yard line.
Gil Bird comes up. Man, he comes up pretty hard, doesn't he?
He did a good job there.
Yeah.
You know, you look at this Seattle offensive unit, they're rated 22nd in all of football. It doesn't seem too impressive, but it's sort of misleading because the type of offense that Chuck Knox will play is very conservative. He has a 10-0 lead, and he's not going to do anything that's going to hurt this football team right now, so it makes them somewhat predictable on offense. But it is misleading. They're a better football team than their 22nd
San Diego is playing good defense, too, other than they gave up that long 59-yard pass that led to a touchdown. All 10 points, the touchdown and the field goal, were as a result of turnovers. The defense not playing that bad. But we have timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 4 when we return after this from the NFL. Previous announcement brought to you, of course, by Dave Krieg, the quarterback for Seattle and the National Football League. We have 2:13 remaining in the first half. Seattle on top, 10-0. 3rd down and 4 for the Seahawks at their own 24-yard line. The wave is rolling around Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. Krieg, man, is wide open, and he fires it complete to Byron Walker. He'll have the first down out over the 30-yard line. We want to remind you that at halftime, we are going to be bringing you highlights from yesterday's action. Boy, there was some action. And as we get down to the 2-minute warning, it'll give us an opportunity to join Jim Lampley right now.
All right, Frank, let's take a look at the weekly Dan Marino show as the Dolphins played the Bills yesterday in Miami. Marino showed he was human. Threw 3 interceptions for the first time in his career, but 3 more touchdown passes to make it 27 for the season. This one in the second quarter, the Dan Johnson put the Dolphins up 14-0. Early in the season, it was Mark Duper who got all the headlines, and you saw on that previous touchdown pass, Marino throws TDs even when they are deflected. This one was hung on a rope to Mark Clayton, who has now taken over from Duper as the leading touchdown threat for the Dolphins. He has 9 touchdown catches on the season to lead the NFL in that category. Marino, 21 appearances in the NFL, 49 touchdown passes. No one has stopped him yet. Back to you, Frank.
He is amazing. Dan Marino. What does he need, 36 to break the Atlanta Tittle record?
Well, he's throwing to some good guys. You see passes like that, a kid catches a ball that shouldn't have been a touchdown and does a super job with it after he has it.
I like it because it spirals so pretty.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Aesthetic about it. Not to mention terribly effective.
He's always had an artistic eye.
First down and 10, Seattle at their own 33-yard line. Charger fans are resorting to the wave for what pleasure they can find out of this game tonight. This is Earl Turner. And Turner with some nice moves gets out of the 35-yard line, close to the 38. He'll get 6 out of that before Gil Bird is there to make the stop.
I think the Charger fans are trying to get even with the Seattle fans. There's a lot of complaining up in Seattle by the Chargers that they couldn't hear the signal because the Seattle fans were doing the wave in that indoor stadium. I guess it could get pretty difficult to hear.
Not bad numbers for Dave Krieg. He's 11 of 13, 111 yards. This is Morris, the rookie from Tennessee. They stopped him short of the first down near the 40-yard line. It'll bring up third down and just about 3. Timeout now called by Seattle. Seattle down to 1 timeout. Let's rejoin Jim Lampley.
All right, Frank. All right, Frank, and having taken a look at Dan Marino, we now see his counterpart in the NFC, Neil Lomax. Yesterday was a day on which the Cardinals proved that even when their home run threat is stopped, they can win. In fact, it was the big play for Philadelphia yesterday as the Eagles got this 92-yard, or make it 90-yard touchdown pass from Jaworski to Quick. That's the longest touchdown pass of Jaworski's career, and it put the Eagles on top 14-7 in the second period. But Lomax and the Cardinals came back to dominate the rest of the game as they stopped his outside receivers, Tilley and Green. He worked the middle to the tight ends. This one to number 80, Doug Marsh, a 24-yard touchdown that made it 24-14 on the way to a 34-14 win for St. Louis. They're 4th in a row. Back to you, Frank.
The Cardinals are really getting tough in that Eastern Division of the NFC now is really tightening up.
That Lomax is smart, too. You see him every week. He starts bragging on that offensive line. Boy.
I've noticed about you quarterbacks, you get the credit. You throw a little 10-yard pass in the back, or a receiver catches it and runs 80-yard run.
Oh, yeah.
We have 1:19 remaining in the first half. Seattle is down to 1 timeout. They have a third down and 3, the ball inside the 40-yard line. They have a 10-0 lead over the San Diego Chargers. And we're going to get Steve Hurt, our UNIVAC downstairs, get working on the last time the Chargers didn't score and a half.
I bet he already knows.
3rd and 3, and the completion is pickup yardage. And fired.
Had to have that first down, yeah.
And he gets the first down. Would Steve Hurt lie to us? It was 32 games ago, the last time they were shut out in the first half.
Oh, my God.
Dornick. Dan Dornick flags it down, however, back at the line of scrimmage as Dornick, who is in there really with the passing offense of the Seahawks. Good receiver out of the backfield and a good blocker. He's big.
It appeared to me that the Charger defense had a mix-up. I saw Scott Byers try to run off. He got almost off to the sideline. They told him to turn around and go back.
Yeah, then big number 99, Lee Williams, turned around and tried to get off the field.
Look at it quickly again. There's Craig. He wanted to go deep.
Well, there was nobody in the middle, so except Dornick.
Dornick had stayed in to pick up a linebacker. Linebackers didn't come, so he was waving and yelling to Craig, got his attention, and he gets the ball all the way down to the 23-yard line of San Diego with 53 seconds now on the clock. Seattle with 1 timeout from the shotgun. This is Largent country. And flags and whistles.
They may have let the clock run out.
They did. That'll back them up 5.
False start, number 61, offense, still first down.
Well, the clock had also run down, but it is Bob Pratt.
Well, Bob was the only one that was watching the clock. He knew it was time to go, so he went. The rest of them were slow.
Now, that's a very cerebral guard for you.
It's like watching your kid at the band. He's the only one out of step. No.
Turned around to Craig, said, hey, baby, you're running out of time.
Yes, the rest of them are out of step.
So the Seahawks are backed up to the 28-yard line. This is really larger country, too, down here. He works so well when defenders have to play him so tight. But he's looking at 6 defensive backs in there for San Diego. He'll have to work his own. And underneath Largent is Turner. And Turner out out of bounds, stopping the clock at 44 seconds, conserving the timeout, and I think he gets the first down on a pickup of 15.
Turner can run, boy. He has a little overdrive there.
He has a smooth gait, doesn't he, O.J.?
Yeah, I see why he's averaging over 20 yards of reception.
I'll tell you one thing. I think we always say Steve Largent doesn't have much speed. But I was watching him, man. He's got pretty good speed. Largent took off right down there and cleared that whole area out.
I think he's always been pretty deceptive about his speed.
Largent, of course, scored the first touchdown, the only touchdown for Seattle tonight. That was his 100th game in which he caught at least one pass. And now on first down, Krieg back from the shotgun. Largent country. Full touchdown. His second of the night.
Man, oh man. Coryell says, what is this?
Gifford tried to get him out of bounds. Largent with again, deceptive speed, as Don spoke of a moment ago, just zipped right by him.
You watch him make this little cutout. It's nothing fancy, but when he makes that turn,
look at that move.
Hey, he's out there now. Watch him turn upfield. He says, Doug, he knows which direction to go. And that just, he got a heck of a hit crossing the side, but actually he beat John Turner at 27, who had him man for man. They're really messed up out there. The Chargers can't find out who's going to be on the field when they're supposed to be there.
Norm Johnson on for the conversion with 37 seconds remaining in the first half. And out to a 17-0 lead, and things are getting sticky for San Diego. They lose this one tonight, and it's one of those old things you can start thinking about, well, what are we going to do next year? They're getting a lot of heat down here in the press. They're getting a lot of heat from their fans. Last year they were 6-10, but they thought that was some sort of aberration because the previous 4 years they had won 3 division titles, had been to the playoffs 3 of those 4 years. They're having their problems, however, this year. Much of it, of course, attributable to some almost unbelievable injuries.
That man right there is really, he has a career. Tonight he's caught his 100th, he's caught his pass in his 100th consecutive regular season game. We mentioned that earlier. But that'll be only the 5th player in the history to do it. So if he catches a couple of more, he'll pass Alfred Jenkins, who has 103 consecutive. No, he wouldn't do that. That's just consecutive games. I've jumped him up there. He's in 100 consecutive games.
Oh, you get dangerous with research.
Somebody ought to take these things away from me.
Okay, San Diego. Norm Johnson to kick off. 37 seconds remaining in the half.
I had him catching all of them.
Yeah, you did. Now, who are the other guys? You say
Harold Carmichael has 127.
How about Bones Taylor?
Mel Gray, 121. Danny Abravitz, 105. And Albert Jenkins, 103 consecutive games. I can read. Not well. Wouldn't that have been good if he could have caught them all tonight?
He may.
Johnson. High kick. Lionel James takes it to the 1-yard line. And James risking body and limb out over the 15-yard line. It'll be first down, San Diego, and as we mentioned earlier, it was 32 games ago that San Diego failed to score in the first half.
And we'll hear some boos if they don't air it out right now.
Say one thing, there is a man in that huddle who's not ever going to quit.
That's right.
You follow Dan Fouts' career. He is tough, he's tenacious, not to mention one of the most skilled players ever to take the field in that position. On first down, underneath this drop. Coming out of the backfield was Lionel James.
They only have 1 timeout, so I'd say their odds are between slim and none.
28 seconds remaining. Dan Fouts looks over to the sidelines. Offensive coordinator for Don Coryell and the Chargers is Dave Levy.
Yeah, he was my offensive coordinator, or USC's, when I was at the university.
At the 19-yard line. Time remaining in the half. Fouts. Down he goes. He gets the sack.
Fumble.
And coughs it up. Seattle says they have it. That was Mike Fanning, the former Ram and Detroit Lion, who comes in there on the pass rush when Seattle goes to a 4-man rush. Boy, I'll tell you, had that fumble stood for Seattle, this game would have been in deep jeopardy.
You're going to have to start feeling sorry for Danny if you look at it from a reverse angle. In a little while.
He took a little more time than ordinary, though.
Yep. That looked like a fumble to me, so let's hope
Yeah, it sure does. You gotta give Fanning credit. He's been all around the league with the Rams for a number of years playing for Chuck Knox. He has 4 sacks coming into this game.
That's the gun ending the first half. 17-0. These Chargers trailed. You hear the chorus of boos. They're used to winning here in San Diego. Want to remind you, stick around. Jim Lampley is going to talk football with you. Highlights from yesterday.
Tonight's halftime is being brought to you by Computerland, with over 700 stores worldwide.
In San Diego, we are at halftime with the Seahawks on top of the Chargers 17-0. A quiet crowd watching Chuck Allen being inducted on the field into the Charger Hall of Fame. Hello again. The most anticipated game in the NFL yesterday matched the Raiders against the Broncos, the 2 teams tied atop the AFC West. It drew a crowd to the LA Coliseum in blacked out Los Angeles of 91,020 fans. That's the largest regular season crowd in the NFL in 30 years. What they saw was a game that the Raiders would like to forget. The Broncos will remember for a while despite bittersweet circumstances. Bronco coach Dan Reeves lost his grandfather Saturday night. Owner Pat Boland's father died during the game yesterday. Our condolences to both of them. And now let's take a look at the highlights. From the moment they moved to Los Angeles in 1982, the Raiders were never out of first place in the AFC West until now. It looked good early against the Broncos. First quarter, Raiders leading 2-0. Touchdown pass from Mark Wilson to Marcus Allen, and it was 9-0 Los Angeles. But Gary Kubiak, playing in place of the injured John Elway, had a chance to play much of the game against a Raider defense that played without Matt Millen and Rod Martin at the linebackers. And when the Raiders led 19-12 with 40 seconds left, it was Kubiak with this big play who gave Denver a last chance to win. This was a 17-yard run to the 12-yard line and set up the touchdown pass to Steve Watson that sent the game into overtime. There were only 30 seconds on the clock. Watson working in the corner of the end zone against Mike Davis, open for the touchdown. That tied it at 19. Key play of the game, first possession of overtime. Raiders with the ball, 1st and 10 at the Denver 11. Tom Flores elected not to kick the field goal on that play, tried to move it closer to the left hash mark. And when Michael Harden pulled the ball out of Frank Hawkins' hands, Steve Foley recovered it for Denver. Then, Denver's Rich Carlos missed the field goal, but the Broncos got another chance. Only 49 seconds left before the game would have ended as a tie. When Jackson picked that ball off, Wilson's 3rd interception of the game, and from there, the Broncos moved into position for Rich Carlos to kick this 35-yarder with 5 seconds left. Denver's 7th consecutive win, putting them in first place ahead of the Raiders in the AFC West. The Giants had lost 6 consecutive times against the Redskins, but the Redskins are banged up. 11 players on injured reserve. And when the Giants got on top early, they forced Washington to play catch-up, a game it doesn't play all that well. First quarter, 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the period, scoreless game. Bill Sims having the best year of his career, not just the healthiest. Hit Ernest Gray for that 22-yard touchdown. It was 7-0 New York. From there, with a new defense that freed Lawrence Taylor to roam the middle, the Giants were able to dominate. It was 23-6 in the 3rd period when Sims hit Phil McConkey, and the gutty ex-Navy man broke tackles for a 39-yard pickup to set up a rarity in this season of the impotent running game for New York, a Giant touchdown on the ground. How did they beef up the running game? They gave the ball to Joe Morris to get more quickness into the game, more quick openers against the 4-down linemen of Washington. Morris ran behind Chris Godfrey, the former USFL lineman. His 3rd touchdown of the day had the Giants on their way to a 37-13 win. Statistical oddities in yesterday's play. 1, the unusually high number of blowouts. 8 of the 13 games were decided by 18 points or more, and only twice before in the history of the league has that happened. 2, New England punter Luke Prestridge hit an 82-yard punt to go with the 89-yarder he hit a week ago. No punter in history has had 2 80-yard punts in the same season. Let's take a look now at the game in which that happened between 2 AFC teams, the Patriots and the Jets. After the firing of Ron Meyer, the Patriots had only a few days to get to know new head coach Ray Berry. And when the Jets went on top early in Sullivan Stadium, the odds appeared to be against the Patriots. This 53-yard run down the sideline by McNeil set up a first-period Jet touchdown that made it 10-0 New York. They led 20-6 at halftime. But New England hung in there. It was 20-9 in the third when Eason handed off to the new face in the Patriot offense, number 32, Craig James. He only carried the ball 20 times under his old college coach, Meyer. He got it 10 times yesterday and came through. That touchdown made it 20-16. Key sequence in the fourth period. Eason in the grasp of number 99, Mark Gastineau. Only momentarily, but long enough, officials ruled, to count for one of Gastineau's 3 sacks of the day. This pass to Stanley Morgan in the end zone, no touchdown. No matter. 2 plays later, Eason came back, this time looking the number 81, Stephen Starring, the second-year man out of McNeese State. Found him from 5 yards out, the touchdown that put the Patriots on top for good in the ball game. Eason has thrown 202 passes this year. He's only been intercepted twice. His consistency, the key to a growing confidence for New England, typified by this 4-yard touchdown by Collins that wrapped up a 30-20 victory. And after the game, new coach Ray Berry low-keyed his involvement in his first coaching win.
What did I do today? Well, as I said before the game, I knew I was going to really get to enjoy the game because I had such a heck of a seat out there. And I also told our squad ahead of time that I was not going to know one play on offense, and I didn't know one defense, and didn't even plan to try and learn them. I was really concentrating on trying to learn the names of all my players, and I told them that I promised them I was going to know all their names today, and that was all I was going to do.
Did you learn them all?
Knew them all. Sure did.
Halftime in San Diego, the Chargers downstairs trying to map out a strategy which will bring them back from a 17-0 deficit to Seattle. We remind you, CFA college football this Saturday, Boston College 9th ranked against Penn State, 11th ranked Auburn versus Florida. The following week, South Carolina ranked 5th, coached by Frank Gifford's old teammate Joe Morrison, in what should be their biggest test of the season so far against 14th ranked Florida State. One note which makes the 91,020 crowd in the Los Angeles Coliseum for the Raiders and the Broncos yesterday even more impressive is that the Rams were playing down the road in Anaheim and they drew more than 65,000. The 49ers had come into that game supposedly in unhealthy condition. 14 different players coming off bouts with the flu, various other nagging injuries. Well, hold your get well cards. As the highlights will demonstrate, the 49ers won't need them. In Anaheim, the Rams needed to stop Joe Montana and beat the 49ers to put pressure on them in the NFC West, but as you can see there, it was just the other way around as Montana had another big day. Running back Roger Krieg caught only 12 passes in 4 years at Nebraska. He's already caught 37 balls this year, and this 64-yard touchdown in the second period, Craig's 3rd touchdown catch of the year, made it 12-0 San Francisco. Want to find fault with Montana? He bobbled the snap on the extra point attempt, so they weren't able to add that point. It was still 12-0 49ers when the Rams got the football back, and Jeff Kemp, in a day of rude awakening, found number 76, Dwayne Board, on the back of his helmet. He lost the football. Mano Tuiasosopo picked it up. It set up another 49er touchdown. It was 19-0 at the half. All of the 49er receivers played well. Freddie Solomon and Ronaldo Nehemiah, and of course, Dwight Clark, who had 4 catches for 90 yards, including this breakaway for a 44-yard touchdown. All in all, the 49ers did everything right, including holding Eric Dickerson to 38 yards and 13 carries.
Ralph Benerska will get the second half underway. The Chargers trailing 17-0 in a game they felt they must win to stay in any kind of contention for a playoff possibility. They are 4-4 in the season. Seattle is 6-2. And here comes Seattle's Dave Hughes. Big opening for Hughes. And Hughes goes out of bounds at midfield, and I held my breath for a moment.
I did
After
too.
that tackler was Ralph Benerska. 3 weeks ago, kidney stone surgery. He would have had to make an effort.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I saw him going over. He was the last guy.
Their first quarter stats, 96 of those 100 yards represented there by Seattle. Came in a 1 touchdown drive that was a Steve Largent touchdown pass from Dave Krieg. They continued to dominate their first 2 scores, a result of San Diego turnovers.
Yeah, outpassing San Diego is amazing. Seattle.
48-yard line, good return by David Hughes. Morris, ball is up in the air and it's free, and it comes down in the arms of Ron Essick. He almost lost it, maybe he did. It looked like he covered it for a moment.
Mike Green, I think.
And now it's going to be Mike Green fell on it, but was Essick down? No. So San Diego gets a break on the first offensive play from scrimmage. They get a turnover. Boy, I'll tell you, that ball popped out of Morris's arms. Let's take a look from the end zone. He really gets hammered.
Whoa.
Ball is free. That's Essig, the offensive tackle. And he fell. The ball hit a San Diego Charger helmet, and Mike Green was there. 42-yard line for San Diego. They are still an explosive team, even though they have been racked by injuries. Winslow out, Chandler not playing tonight. Fouts fires, and he gets it complete. Out to the sidelines it goes. Bobby Duckworth, and a flag is down, and we're going to have late action on the part of Dave Brown, I do believe, for Seattle.
Well, Dave came up and certainly made him pay the price for catching that pass. I didn't see any extra activity, but I'm sure it was there if they called it.
Personal foul. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. I think we'll pick it up.
That's
Dave
Duckworth.
Brown, number 22. This is Duckworth, 82.
Let's see it. Dave, as I say, this is one physical football team. I still don't see it.
Well, stranglehold.
They got him up around the head, I guess.
That's good football to me.
First down inside the 35-yard line, San Diego. They need something quick to give them a lift. They have not played that bad defensively. They've had 2 turnovers. They have given up a couple of big plays, and they should be in the game. Fouts has to dump it off to Jackson. Jackson with a good move inside the 30-yard line. He'll get 5 yards out of that. Good hard running Ernest Jackson. We saw him earlier in the year with the Raider Charger game, and he has put some running offense into this team. They got him in the 8th round a year ago. Didn't do anything. He only carried the ball 11 times a year ago as an 8th round draft pick from Texas A&M. Came in tonight leading the AFC in rushing.
I like what Danny Fouts said. He said he thinks quick. He sees a hole. No matter how big it is, he goes for it. He doesn't hesitate.
Hey, Fouts got to think quick tonight because he was sacked again by Jacob Green right as he threw the quick out.
Second down and 5. Jackson gets to the outside with a good move. That play designed to go inside. Jackson read it to the outside. He has a first down at the 18-yard line. Dave Brown taking him out of bounds. The more you look at him, the more you like him.
Yeah. It's a weird play. A pitch back that appeared as if it was going to go right off tackle.
He was trying to follow Big White, wasn't he?
Big White back there. Well, White hit Gaines. Just held him enough for Jackson to get outside, and he does a good job of turning upfield.
He had weighs about 270. He looked like a small tank leading that play. First down at the 18-yard line for San Diego.
Look out.
Trouble. He goes down. Joe Nash.
Tell you, that Nash is making some moves in there in the middle, isn't he?
Boston College has turned out some nose tackles. You think of Brett Smerlis up in Buffalo. Now this free agent. And he is one that is also improving, it seems like, with each passing game.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm amazed at how often he can get to the quarterback from that nose tackle position. He's got around 7 sacks now total for the season, and he still has, what, 7 games to go?
Lionel James in there now. We're going to be watching Seattle in 2 weeks. They go against the Raiders. The Raiders have given them one of their 2 defeats that they've suffered this year, but this one will be played up in Seattle. That's Duckworth in the arms with Kenny Easley. Duckworth gets some of it back. Duckworth to about the 16-yard line is going to bring up long yardage, however.
Yep, that's Dave Levy, my old offensive coordinator when I was at USC. Lost a little weight, even though he still got a little belly there.
It's like baseball signs from a catcher, really. There are dummy signs, and there are live signs that they flash out there.
And this is when we would normally look for Kellen Winslow, wouldn't it?
Third down and 8. Instead of Kellen Winslow, it's Ron Egloff, number 84, former Bronco. Fouts.
Oh, beautiful.
And that was picked off by Kenny Easley.
And what a job.
His second interception of the night. Easley still on his feet, and he struggles all the way back out close to the 40-yard line. One great diving interception. Fouts tried to squeeze it in there. Easley with the great reactions was right there.
One of the things that Fouts said this morning, what do you miss when you don't have your regular receivers out there? He said, if there's anything, I throw with a little bit less, a little more hesitant. But you see, he really did try to rifle that ball in there.
To one of his regular receivers, Charlie Joyner.
That's right. I had a feeling he might try to go with Charlie.
Why Kenny Easley was a 3-time All-American at UCLA and an All-Pro here in the NFL. He does a great job of running with the ball after he caught it.
Easley back out. They mark it close to the 38-yard line. Good field position once again for Seattle.
Bud Light. Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light. Right.
Hey, you thinking what I'm thinking?
Meet Nissan's hottest truck, the best-selling King Cab, re-engineered for 85 to hitch a tough, smooth-side, strong box to 9 cubic feet of lockable storage and jump seats behind the buckets. Nissan, first and still king of the compacts.
Come alive, come and drive. Make the motion from Nissan.
At your Datsun dealer.
Has the most 100-yard rushing games in the history of Monday Night Football, with a total of 7.
Kenny Easley, his second interception of the night. He picked one off from Lionel James earlier in the game, and that was when San Diego was also threatening. They were deep in Charger territory. He has done it once again. Seattle at their own 38-yard line, first down and 10. Krieg. That one batted up in the air, and it was loose for a moment. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Robert Pratt, being an 11-year veteran that he is, number 61, did a good job of jumping up and batting the ball down. Look for number 61 here. This is what a veteran player do. Maybe a younger player would have attempted to catch the ball and run with it, but watch 61 come out of nowhere there. He's chasing it and just bats it away.
Well, he should have caught it. There's only one there.
Well, he was smart enough not to catch it.
Called for a fair catch. It'll bring up second and 10. Jack Dixon, number 31, now in there. Now flanked out. All right, underneath it goes to David Hughes. David Hughes, far short of the first down.
That was big Bill Elko that knocked it up in the air for San Diego a while ago. Nose tackle for the Chargers.
Pickup of about 5 yards, so it'll be third down and 5 for Dave Krieg as the specialty units make the switch on the field. Fitzcaster, one wide receiver, the rookie Darrell Turner, number 81, the other one for Seattle. Byron Walker and Steve Larson, 4 wide receivers in the game, and Seattle on 3rd and 5 will go from the shotgun. A lot of time. Got him. Taylor's got the speed.
Oh, my.
No, that's his, Byron Walker. Sprinting down the sideline. Byron Walker, that's only his 6th reception of this season. And he was wide open, but if you give Krieg that much time, somebody has got to be open sooner or later.
You know he was just trying to find somebody else. Look at those feet start dancing. He even thought about running for a while, looked back, and this time Walker just kept going, and he was right down the sideline. That's a well-thrown ball. He was close to being out of bounds, wasn't he? Look at
Gifford trying to defend against it, but when you give somebody that much time, you saw the tremendous blocking by that offensive line. With only a 3-man rush, they were pounding Chargers all over the field. Krieg with so much time. The first down is at the 17-yard line. The Seattle team, well-rounded team, strong defensively, and very effective offensively. Krieg reads it downfield, nothing happening, tries to go out to Hughes, and it's incomplete. I like the way Gil Bird comes up. He'll hit somebody.
He does do that, doesn't he? A little quick flip out there to the flat.
What Alex Spanos, the new owner, is thinking these days. Spanos, of course, a self-made builder from the Sacramento area. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it was reported that he paid $56 million for the San Diego Chargers and sat down and wrote a check out for it.
Yeah, doing a lot of building.
That's a whole lot of building, baby.
Look at that, Pat. Seattle, San Diego, I don't believe this.
Usually you would anticipate the reverse. Second and 10. Krieg pops out of it.
Got his man.
Sargent with his third touchdown of the night. And Dave Krieg right down there to congratulate him. 16-yard touchdown this time for Largent.
Really nice job by Krieg that time. Now, he really did. He had to hustle for that one, did he?
You know, he's a good runner, Don. He ran for 2 touchdowns in the first San Diego game.
One of them's like a 37-yarder, but look at this. Very quick, composure, then looks back down in that and throws that one across his body and drops that thing in, and Steve Largent's right there.
That was pretty. Largent ties the Seahawks record for a single game, 3 touchdowns. In fact, the only receptions he's had have been touchdowns on the night. Of course, he tied his own record. He's been the leading receiver, and he was one of the original Seahawks dating back to 76. And would you believe, Houston had him at one time. They traded him to Seattle. That's a good move.
Well, he's too small to play.
We'll be back. Back at the Super Bowl site for 1988, Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. And Seattle showing a lot of strength, both offensively and defensively tonight. Norm Johnson bangs it. Lionel James at the goal line. Lionel James, good moves out to the 25-yard line. 25-yard pickup. Norm Johnson in there on the stop. Next week, we'll be in Washington, and then we'll be watching the Seattle team take on the Raiders at home. They have lost to the Raiders already once this year, and that is their only loss within the division.
I tell you, with the Raiders' defeat yesterday, that should be one big football game.
And San Diego with a 4-4 record. They have, all 4 of their losses have been within the division, so they're in deep trouble. Charlie Joyner out over the 30-yard line. Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And, of course, the team they are chasing now, as well as the Raiders, the Denver Broncos. Danny Reeves has done a masterful job out there. He really has. Playing without his starting quarterback, Elway, yesterday. Kubiak with the big play right at the end of the game.
That defense for them has been playing. That defense.
Oh, it reminds me of this Seattle team in some ways. Don't hurt themselves with the offense and make the big play with the defense.
2nd and 5, Chargers. Fouts has to check it off to Jackson. He wanted to go upfield with it, and Jackson will be held short of the first down. That was Greg Gaines defensively. He's the man who stepped in. And Michael Jackson, the hitman for the Seattle Seahawks, went down. That's the standings we spoke of, and it's going to be tough for San Diego. Did they go on and lose tonight, and they are in deep trouble.
Denver's loss was to the Bears. They got all their quarterbacks knocked out. Didn't score a point against the Bears, but they've had a heck of a season.
3rd down and 3. Fouts has a man open. And Bobby Duckworth does not hold on.
That kills you.
That right in his hand.
Yeah, that one kills you. When you're down 24-0, everybody, and Danny knows it. He says, man, I got it there. What else can you do?
That will be the most you'll ever see in terms of emotion from this man. We asked him about that this morning. What was his answer, Don?
He said, hey, man.
When they drop one?
They drop one. He says, I just come back. I don't say anything to them. If they don't drop them on purpose.
Well, but he did say if they drop too many, he'll go to a higher authority.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Gifford, who's punted well tonight, bangs another good one. Kenny Easley at the 17-yard line.
That was a good move.
Easley again almost has something working, as once again the Seattle special teams provide a couple of blocks that will get Easley out over the 31-yard line. A 51-yard punt this time by Buford, and a nice return by Easley. Seattle quarterback has ever put together these numbers, and that's where Krieg is on the night. A little over 81%, just under 82%. Last week he threw for 310 yards against Green Bay. On 1st down, David Hughes working for a couple out to just over the 34-yard line.
Well, you talk about his percentage being over 80%. I think Zorn has the team record, and that's about 79%. And if I know Chuck Knox, I don't think Krieg is going to get the opportunity to throw many more passes tonight.
If he does, he's going to probably throw those that are rather conservative. Would you say high percentage passes?
2nd down and 7. Argent up at the top of your screen. The rookie Turner to the right. Jack Dixon. And Dixon is met by Timmy Fouts, who's playing on a very wobbly knee tonight. Andrew back in '76 until midway of last season. But the decision was made by Chuck Knox. Jim Zorn is a professional, as Chuck Knox mentioned this morning. He sat down, knowing that there would be another day. He had some great games, he really did, but when they put him down, he was something like 14 of 41 through 2 games, and they were down 24-0 to Pittsburgh, and Dave Krieg came in and almost won that game, and he's been the starter ever since. 3rd and long. Turner, good move by Turner to get the first down out close to the 42-yard line.
Well, he slid a little bit. It's going to be pretty interesting where they mark the ball.
It's amazing. The more you use somebody, the better they get, so to speak. And Turner is young and has not been used that much.
Good quality athlete. He really is a second-round draft pick. And that's what happens when you are sitting 4-4, looking
24
right in the face of 4 and 5.
I've been on a lot of those benches.
Makes a 16-game season a very long one.
Yep.
First down and 10 for Seattle. Nearly midway through the 3rd period. Seattle on top 24-0.
Got him over the middle.
Wide open Largent. He has first down yardage.
You see him go down and get that ball. Now that's really great control, body control, good concentration. The ball was thrown behind him. Rather than not catch the ball, he just slid down there. Brought the only 4 receptions. Seems like we've been talking about him all night. Maybe it's because of the 3 touchdowns on the end, right?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to catch the ball unless I score.
At the 47-yard line, another first down, and Seattle is rolling it up. Very effective. Brian Walker is the 4th wide receiver in there now, split out to the right. Krieg picked off. Went to the well too often. Billy Ray Smith gets the turnover, stays on his feet, and Billy Ray down to the 42-yard line.
Billy Ray was throwing the okey-doke out there. The boy was throwing shoulder pads and helmet and a hip.
He's got some moves. No fullback. That ball was really, there was a miss, had to be a miss in the assignment because you see his receiver go to the inside.
And he goes to the outside.
Yeah.
Now watch this, boy. I tell you, a lot of backs in the league like that. Threw a little bit of everything there. Gave him a leg, took it away, and Largent, once again, makes the tackle.
Straight arm on Dave Hughes, and Billy Ray Smith gets the Chargers a first down near the 42-yard line of Seattle. Midway through the 3rd quarter, the San Diego Chargers have their best starting field position of the night. They are down 24-0. They're at the 43-yard line of Seattle. And all around the corner was Jacob Green.
Lighten up, Jacob.
And the sack is all the way back to midfield.
Ed White, who's been hurt a little bit off and on. This actually hasn't played the whole thing the last couple of games.
He missed 2 of the last 3.
And
a bad thigh injury.
He
just
missed
didn't
much
move.
of this one.
Well, he missed Jacob that time, didn't he?
Third
was
sack
around
tonight for Seattle. 23 yards in the minus column for San Diego. This man will stay in there, working without. Of course, Kellen Winslow, Wes Chandler, very little from Pete Holohan.
There he goes again.
And down goes Lionel James.
I'm telling you, that's a tough defensive team.
Oh, I tell you.
Simpson hits Lionel James, and there's going to be a yard lost on that play. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Channel 4, WTAE-TV, Pittsburgh.
It's been the Seahawks tonight. They got on the scoreboard first. Steve Largent with 1 of 3 touchdown passes in the early going. Norm Johnson hit from 42 yards out. And that's the story. It has been Seattle with a dominant defense also. San Diego playing without the great tight end, Kellen Winslow and Wes Chandler. They just can't get things happening. We're going to watch it from the end zone on 3rd down and a bundle. Green is there again.
He got the errand.
Yeah, the new
Scramble for the ball. Jeff Bryant was there also. Green got to Fouts first. He pulled away from him, and then he was hammered by Bryant.
Oh, that's
Wilkerson covers the football, saves the recovery. Watch Green, top of your screen.
He's already around White.
Well, you can see White is hurting.
Yeah, he can't move.
He just can't get back in time. And bingo, good job of grabbing the arm.
And that was Nash, not Bryant, that really hammered Fouts. Wow. That'll be 4th down. Buford comes up. And Kenny easily drops back for Seattle.
That's going to be brutal out there.
Well, they're going to have to keep it back in and help out, it appears.
They better. I think San Diego ought to go back to their running game.
Yeah. They're going to have to open up a new can of quarterback.
Yeah, Danny's going to get hurt.
Ball cleaned off. Ready to go. 5:33 remaining here in the 3rd period.
All right, Gifford from Mount Pleasant, Texas. He's a good old homeboy. He's about 15 miles from home. Watch this.
Sure kicks his ball high. Easily, the fair catch indicated at the 11-yard line. So Seattle, they've already gone 96 yards.
Nice kick,
in
Murray.
This game for a touchdown. And they'll be starting this drive at their 11. Dave Krieg is exactly 80% on the night. He had the one miscue, the Billy Ray Smith pickoff. But San Diego could not convert that into any points. David Hughes. Out to about the 15-yard line, and Seattle's have a very difficult time running the ball, as this man is having a difficult time getting any kind of offense generated. And his problems are much like the lesser problems of Dave Krieg. All those receivers missing. This is a passing football team, and they are really hurt. It's biggest for Dave Krieg. Kurt Warner gone in the first game of the season. Eric Lane, his backup. He's hurt. He's not playing tonight. And we're watching a lot of Randall Morris, the rookie from Tennessee, and David Hughes. 2nd down and 7. Zach Dixon. Good running. Cutback. Good running by Zach Dixon. He's out there for 1st down yardage. We asked Chuck Knox, the coach of the Seattle, what his game plan would be against the Chargers tonight.
Well, the game plan is going to be to make some plays offensively. We have a chance to make them, not turn the football over, play good, tough team defense, try to contain and slow down as much as possible Dan Fouts, Jackson, and Charlie Joyner, and their other real fine wide receivers. Have a slowed-up kicking game and not make mistakes with that part of our football. And we're going to have a team effort and have defense, offense, and special teams all playing well in order to win this football game.
Well, Chuck Knox is 6 for 6. They've done all that.
Yeah, they have.
As you watch David Hughes sprint for about 5 yards.
He really believes he's got a good football team. We asked him today, do you think he had a great team? He said, well, I can't say it's a great team, but we really got a good football team. That might have been a little bit of instant humble. I think he thinks he's got a really great team.
He's a winner wherever he's been. Former Jet assistant, Detroit assistant.
And O.J. was making fun of him, said he put on weight today. Why did you do that, O.J.?
Is that why he traded you back then, O.J.?
Yeah, that's what it was.
2nd down and 5. Jack Dixon piled up at the line of scrimmage. Actually, he was amused when we asked him about the trade of O.J. And it's a long, convoluted answer that he gave us, but both O.J. and Chuck Knox were chuckling. He said, I got 4 great draft picks out of that, and I made O.J. one happy man. Back to San Francisco.
Well, at the time, it was time for me to leave, and it was a time for Buffalo needed the players, really.
That was a nice sacrifice on your part to go from Buffalo to San Francisco. You've always been a very
Eddie
giving.
DeBartolo did the sacrifice. He picked up my contract and my bad knee.
Those things happen.
3rd down and 6. The injuries continue for San Diego. Woody Lowe, the linebacker, is out now with a hip pointer. Walker in motion. Krieg with a lot of time. Not much time. We're going to get the completion, and he does, to Chris Castor. He has another 1st down out of the 32-yard line. Speaking of injuries, we couldn't get him ready for tonight. That's Billy Edwards. He was covering the Notre Dame game this past weekend, and he just didn't quite move quickly enough.
He said, would you get out of here?
What was Lampley's line today?
Well, it was...
I think it was somebody else's line.
Lampley doesn't want that one.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Tell us what it was.
Well,
Yeah, you're into it now.
The only person who's been hurt by Notre Dame hit this year.
Oh, I see. Okay.
First down and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Here it comes.
David Hughes.
David doesn't
contact.
Does not know but one direction.
That was Andre Young who collided with David Hughes, and I think David Hughes might have been the winner of that one. Franco Harris.
Franco's always been a slow starter. Maybe a slower year than normal for him, but he missed all of training camp, and I did that once back in '76, and it wasn't until about the 9th or 10th game in this season that I started getting that feeling back again. And as Chuck Knox says today, he just hoped Franco will be getting that feeling in the weeks in that final 4 or 5 games of the season and help him then.
Second down and 8 at the 39-yard line. 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. Zach Dixon once again with a good move. And Dixon, good running out over the 45-yard line.
I think one of the San Diego players almost knocked out John Turner that time, one of his own players.
Zach Dixon's been around a little bit. He was with Denver, the Giants, the Eagles, and Baltimore. Came to Seattle as a free agent. There's a man we've been talking about all night. That's the nose tackle. A good one he is indeed, Joe Nash.
Yeah,
free agent 3 years ago.
He took a good defensive team, and I think as far as their down linemen are concerned, he's turned it into a near great defensive front.
Jeff Bryant and Jacob Green are awfully tough on the outside.
We'll find out about their greatness next 2 weeks from tonight.
You're right.
When they get it on with the Raiders, and we'll be there in Seattle. 3rd and 1. Zach Dixon again.
Whoa.
Hello. Good.
Who did that?
Hit, and he was held short of the first down by Cliff Thrift.
Cliff got one, didn't he? Ooh. Caught him just at the right time.
The linebacker's Green to get that back, cutting back against the grain.
Preferably not looking.
They generally aren't. Lionel James back now. 5'6", 170 pounds. Jeff West on to punt. He's having a good night punting also. Hey, they have some fine special teams.
You know, he came in ranked last, Jeff West did, but he's been knocking a lot of them in inside the 20.
This is high and short, and a flag is down. And Jeff West is down. We could have a roughing, and that would bring up the first down for Seattle. They would maintain possession.
That's tough because he came in rushing the punter, and Terry Jackson, number 24, the blocker for the Seahawks, literally blocked him into the kicker. As you'll see, see him pushed him right into the kicker.
That's Scott Byers.
Yep.
And when you get blocked into the kicker, it's not supposed to be a penalty.
Well, he pushed him and right into him.
Running into the kicker, number 30, defense, first down.
That's Byers. It was indicated that he was blocked into the kicker. First down in any event for Seattle, and they are in San Diego territory at the 49 with 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We mentioned we'll be watching Seattle in 2 weeks, but next week they'll be home for Kansas City. That, of course, another divisional race. Kansas City probably better than their 5-4 record.
Knox really likes Kenny. He said he had Bill Kenny in a Pro Bowl. That fella can throw the ball. But he's a little concerned about Kansas City.
That is going to take care of the third quarter. Seattle leading 24-0 over San Diego. We'll be back for fourth quarter action after this from our local stations. We begin the fourth quarter with Seattle dominating the San Diego Chargers, albeit an injury-racked Charger team. Seattle themselves have had their own problems with injuries. Probably it has not had the same impact because San Diego lives in the air and they are missing so many of their fine receivers. Holohan has played little tonight. Of course, Winslow gone for the season. Chandler's out. They had 113 receptions between them in the first 8 games. From the shotgun on second down and 8. Completion, Byron Walker, and he'll have a first down, and the clock will move. He stays inbounds. What am I? I'm a lamp.
Is he a lamp, a salt shaker, or what?
He's silly.
Yeah.
It's a silly person. That's a really silly person. Oh, my.
Halloween.
Oh, that is right. It's
When
Halloween.
is Halloween Eve?
Halloween is...
Eve is Wednesday, isn't it? Halloween night is Wednesday, I think. Eve is Tuesday. and
that's not Eve.
Well, 36-yard line, first down, Seattle. That's Largent, the move man. Good read by Krieg. Spins off of Largent, comes back to Byron Walker, incomplete.
Knocked Byron out of town, knocked him off the field, didn't he?
Halftime numbers. Interesting, San Diego time of possession. That'll tell you how much that means. They were dominant in times of possession.
And the passing yardage, look at this.
What you do with your time is what is important not only in the game of life, but on the game of the field.
Oh, wait a minute, Man must have a birthday coming up. No, he just had one. 87 yards passing for San Diego. Can you believe that one?
Second down and 10. Krieg having a big night. 12th play of this drive, Zach Dixon. Zach Dixon running well.
Oh, yes.
He's hit there by Lyndon King and driven out of bounds.
Linden.
Hey, Linden at 6'5", 250.
Yeah, they moved him over to that strong side about 3 or 4 years ago, and that's where he belonged. He used to play over that weak side. Then Woody Lowe came along, took over that spot. Lyndon King is where he should be, on that strong side where most of the run action is. And you saw him play Zach Dixon perfectly as he nails him right at the line of scrimmage.
He can't be a 33rd round draft choice. They don't have 33 rounds in drafting, do they?
Maybe he was the 33rd guy picked.
23 of 29, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. The lone interception by Dave Krieg on a big night.
Way to cover for graphics.
3rd and 10. Krieg is sacked. Back at the 44-yard line. First sack of the night. And you would suspect it was the leading sacker for San Diego, Keith Ferguson. That's his 7th of the season. Loss of 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, we got the Halloween crowd.
Are we sure those people are here?
I don't know. Oh, man.
We were here Halloween night a year ago, and we had some of the weirdest costumes, and we're seeing it again tonight. On 4th down, Jeff West on once again for Seattle, and Lionel James is back for the Chargers. That's off the side of West's foot, and not at all what he intended to happen. Looking for the corner, and he goes out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and the Chargers offensive unit comes out onto the field. Oh, and they gave us a lot of thrills this past summer. All 5 of them. San Diego first down and 10. Now they're playing really to avoid the humiliation of being shut out. We'll put Steve Hurt on that the last time they were shut out. First and 10, the ball at their own 19-yard line. Fouts fires it out complete to Ben Ross, the rookie from Alabama. His offensive tackle, Bob Kreider, being worked on over in the sidelines.
Wearing one of those new knee braces that all the linemen around the league are wearing. A lot of the college kids out west here, I see wear them.
They wear them in practice.
Yeah, they say it really cut down on some of those knee injuries.
Kreider is Chuck Knox choice. He was a first-round draft pick for New England a few years ago. Many years started there. Knox played New England many times against Kreider at Buffalo, and he decided he wanted him.
Hello.
He got him. Traded Steve August, and Kreider's doing a fine job for him. That was Ernest Jackson with a gain of about a yard and a half. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. I knew Steve Hurt would get to that.
Has not been shut out.
That's
through 3 quarters in 75 regular season games.
That was Don Coryell's 2nd year. And that, of course, was when Gene Klein was the owner of this football team. He brought Coryell here. Gene now and his wife Joyce happily enjoying themselves with a lot of horses. They got some great racehorses. They really do. They have a whole stable of them. 3rd and 3, and it goes to Lionel James for the first down at the 32-yard line. Gene Klein is really a pistol, too. He used to walk up and down these sidelines Thought he'd get out and relax a little bit, get away from the tension of football so he gets into
the
horse racing.
That makes sense.
Well, he has some good ones.
Speaking of racing, when I ran my leg of the Olympic torch, Michael Klein, his son, showed up, ran with me. Was on the cover of all the L.A. papers. Oh, Michael right there beat me. Outran me.
At the 32-yard line, first down and 10. The Chargers trying to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. Fouts underneath. The flag is down as Charlie Joyner is hammered and coming up with the football in Seattle.
Those old bones of Charlie Joyner's better stay away from Kenny easily.
He hit through him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did on that play. That's what they call it, too, hitting through the man.
Holding against Seattle.
You think I made that up?
No, I recall that when I used to play. They'd say, hey, instead of hitting him on the numbers, try to hit through the numbers.
Holding, defense, first down.
First down, San Diego. At their own 37-yard line. San Diego next week is going to travel to Indianapolis. They have 2 games remaining with Denver in their division. They've none with the Raiders. They got them twice. We covered one of them. And they have 1 game remaining with Kansas City. That's Lionel James, right side. But there are 4 losses coming in tonight were all divisional losses. They lost to the Raiders, I mentioned twice. They lost once to Seattle already this year, and they lost once to Kansas City. All right, Don.
Oh,
All
me.
right, Don,
you're in charge of replay.
Oh, my God. Well, that's... I don't have anything to say about that.
On second down and 7.
Look out.
Fouts has to unleash. He almost got it to Lionel James under tremendous pressure as he was being pursued by Bryant and Green once again.
Well, Lionel James is only listed at 5'6". If he was about 5'9", he may have caught that ball.
As a friend of ours would say, 5'6", 172, the stature of an ordinary man.
That's World War II. That was about normal.
About 17 of 26. 129 yards, the 1 interception. But the Seattle defense has been totally dominant tonight.
Yeah, worse than his not having his receivers is he's not had much protection.
3rd and 7. Fouts to Lionel James.
Oh, Lionel.
And Lionel James in a collision with the number 1 draft pick for Seattle from Southern Illinois, Terry Taylor. He's going to turn into
a
good defensive back, Terry Taylor.
Nice teeth.
4th down, and the punting team comes on to a course of boos here in San Diego. 4th down and 5.
Maybe it'll be a fake punt, huh?
Well, they keep Dan Fouts in.
Oh, they did like that.
They had him out there for a while, and I'm sure Don Coryell didn't react to it, but they decided they would go on 4th and 5. Down 24-0. 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Look out.
Needs 5. Turn it upfield, and you don't get it, Lionel James.
Oh, he could have gotten it if he had just fell forward right when he caught the ball.
Good defense, though, wasn't it? Look at those Seahawks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around there.
That looks to be short.
Certainly does.
Give them a 5th down. They're close enough.
Come on.
They'll bring the 6 out, but there's going to have to be some irregular lines on this field for this to be a first. Clock stop now with 9:58 remaining. Gets the first down, and they stay alive, at least on this drive.
And about, I would say 14,000 people sat back down.
That was one of them right there. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you.
Over the years, they have provided so many great come-from-behind wins, but I'll tell you, they just do not have the equipment tonight to do it.
This time, they've given them a mountain.
First down. Here comes a full blitz. San Diego picks it up. And there's contact made downfield, but no flags. Bobby Duckworth, the intended receiver, and it was Jesse Bendross who was knocked off his feet. I want to remind you, coming up later tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel, The babyface controversy. The first historic heart transplant from an animal to a human infant. And a look at the moral and medical ethics involved. That's tonight on Nightline, immediately following your late local news. Most of you on the West Coast, of course, will be watching Call to Glory. We have a Charger player, slow getting up. That's Bobby Duckworth. Now, Duckworth staggering around out there. He went down very hard, colliding with the Seahawks defensive back. Now he says, I'm okay.
Looked like he caught a knee or something right at the side of his head.
Well, I'll tell you what, Don Coryell looked out there and saw one of his few remaining receivers on this turf here in San Diego. Probably wondering, what in the world have I done to deserve this?
Every receiver who was cut at the end of the preseason went out and started playing catch. Sending telegrams here to San Diego. I'm available.
Quarterback Bruce Matheson is in at wide receiver. That's how far down things have gone for the Chargers. Number 12, top of your screen. He's a wide receiver.
He's open.
Dan Fouts. Great catch by Lionel James. Lionel James, a little man playing a big man's game, comes down with it for a first down, San Diego. And he has provided some good plays tonight. 13-yard pickup. His 5th-round pick out of Auburn.
Now, that is amazing. I didn't even see Matheson go in there, but the quarterback goes in as a flanker.
Fouts tonight has 20 completions, but only 5 of them have been good for 10 yards or more. Fouts. Egloff knocks it down.
Oh. Danny, that's just got to kill him.
Had that happen several occasions tonight. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Fouts kind of smiling as he looks over to the sidelines. Or is that a sneer? He doesn't like that one.
He says, no, give me a break, man.
I don't believe in that one, Coach.
Hey, they're already out.
I throw it to the end zone. Get my tallest receiver out there and just throw it.
About time you started coaching a little bit. They need you.
At the 42-yard line of Seattle, it's 2nd down and 10. Fouts got out of trouble, fires a shot, goes down to Jesse Benrose, who had uncovered. Fouts somehow found him, and there was deep breathing going all over the area around Fouts. And yet he held his cool, got rid of it to Ben Ross, the rookie from Alabama.
He really did that. Look at the move that comes to the outside. Watch Danny move up in here real quick, look back down, and then set and zip. Boy, that thing is right on the line. Nice catch here, by the way.
Well, you're running slow motion. You don't understand the noise that is transpiring around a quarterback as he moves around inside that pocket. The grunts, the groans, the comments on his ancestry. Lionel James this time held for a loss. Once again, it's Jacob Green.
It would help if somebody would block up there.
Well, Ed White, as we pointed out, is working principally against Green tonight. He has a severe thigh injury, trying to go. He's missed 2 of the last 3 games for the Chargers. And Jacob Green, not all that big, around 255, 260. That sounds funny, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But in today's scheme of things in defensive line play, not too big. But he is also very quick, and he is strong. Number 79. Watching, it'll be at the bottom of your screen. Ed White going against Jacob Green. Fouts in trouble. Down he goes on the 2nd and 13. Greg Gaines, number 56, was there, and then Paul Moyer, number 21. They lost all the way back to the 30-yard line.
You saw we were watching. I was watching Jacob Green, and his move was to the inside. White carried him on to the inside, but what they did, they left a big hole right there, and that was where the blitzing Seahawks came in right there. Had a good line on Danny again.
3rd down and 19. Time remaining in the game. Seattle is going to move into a tie with the Raiders in the AFC Western Division at 7-2. And for San Diego, they're going to fall to 4-5. Fouts, look out. Again, just having time to get it off. Picked up by Easley, his 3rd interception of the night.
He does cover some territory back there, doesn't he?
A very heady player. But I'll tell you something. When you're under the kind of pressure Fouts has been tonight, without the gifts that Kellen Winslow and Wes Chandler bring to this game, it changes the offense totally.
And a lot of his guys he's got out there still limping around with that ball. You know, they just got too many Seahawks. I think they got more than 11 guys out there.
Take nothing away from Seattle. It's a strong, solid football team. Well coached, great players, skill positions. Kenny Easley's third interception of the night will give Seattle first down at 10 at the 11-yard line. Over the right side goes David Hughes. David Hughes picking up about 4 yards, getting out over the 15-yard line. And speaking of color commentators, no one said life would be easy on the road. Second down and 6. Hey, guys, come on. This is quite a football game we have. Hey.
They're still playing.
Hey. David Krieg just having a great night. The defense, headed by Kenny Easley and Jacob Green, overpowering this Charger team. Here comes Randall Morris.
Oh, nice
and the
running.
flag is down as Morris has first down yardage out close to the 25-yard line, hit there by Fox and Young, but again, the flag is down.
It's been one of the fastest games we've ever had.
Holding, and that will negate the fine run of Randall Morris, who's in there tonight because of the injury to Eric Lane, who was in there because of the injury to Kurt Warner. And there's Tom Bass, who came here in 1982, turned things around, went from the 4-3 to the 3-4. They spent a lot of top draft picks, bringing in defensive players. They traded for a lot of players. San Diego, and you may not go back this far, but in 1980 and 81, you think of the days of Big Hand Johnson and Fred Dean and Louis Kelcher, Wilbur Young. They were one of the finest defensive teams in football. And, of course, those are all gone. Dean, I believe, still a holdout up in San Francisco. I don't know where Wilbur Young is now. Big Hand Johnson with the 49ers. But he's had a tough time. Tom Bass. This is Zach Dixon. Zach Dixon. And another flag is down as Dixon gets up close to first down yardage. Tim Fox defensively there for San Diego. Another one of those Chargers playing hurt tonight. Six and 2. Seattle going to 7 and 2. They'll be tied with the Raiders, a game behind Denver. And once again, the flag goes to Seattle. There's Dan Fouts. 7 NFL records he has. Any number of records. And there is Kenny Easley, who picked off 2 of Dan Fouts' pass tonight. Also picked off the pass from Lionel James on an option pass that they tried earlier. Just a great football player, Kenny Easley.
Easley was actually chosen in the draft before Ronnie Lott, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Both played safety in college, and of course Ronnie has been playing a lot of corner, mainly cornerback in San Francisco since he's become a pro, but they're two of the finest that have come out.
Number 81, offensive, still second down.
That's Darrell Turner, the rookie from Michigan State.
Cannon has been very...
That goes off when they score, you know.
It's getting a little rusty.
Hey, you know, you think, oh, there's a bag again. I was going to say, you think about Ronnie Lott and Kenny Easley. They had another safety playing at UCLA named Dennis Smith at that time. And he was at the Broncos.
Second down, 13. Couple of flags against Seattle. Here's Zach Dixon. Fumble, and I think San Diego's got it. All right. Fire up the cannon, guys. All right. Possibilities here. And Lyndon King comes out of the pile with the football. Zach Dixon really hammered, though. We're going to look at it from reverse angle and tell you, you think they don't earn your money? Well, they really pounded on this one.
They've had a couple of penalties that set them back. They're still trying to run that ball, but here's... That's Ray Preston. Knocking it loose, Ray Preston.
And then it was Keith Ferguson, the big defensive end, that made certain that the ball was going to be free.
Lyndon King has had some good plays tonight. Had a couple of good hits. Turned it around. Maybe they're going to get some scores after all. Way to go, Lyndon.
At the 10-yard line. First down and 10, San Diego.
I tell you, this Seattle team has a lot of pride, and I'm sure they're yelling, don't let them score. Just not let them get in.
This is Jackson. Jackson is piled up. Looked like he had an opening there for a moment. Closed ever so quickly. Great gains defensively there for Seattle. All the way back to 79. And all the way back to 76. But they were shut out here in San Diego.
Both times by Denver. There's a good defensive team, too, back in 79, 76. Got a man over there.
That's Morris, Wayne Morris. That was his second. First reception of the season. He's only carried the ball once.
Can't be happy.
Getting down to the bottom of the barrel. And for Don Coryell, a man who has been around for so many years, and 15 years coaching at Whittier and San Diego State, he was 127-24, and he had 3 undefeated teams. Went to the Cardinals, and in 5 years won 3 divisional titles. Came back here in 78 mid-season, turned things around here. He's hurting tonight. Third down and 3. Jackson will give it a try. He won't get it.
He's not in a pass offense.
Fourth down coming up. That's Egloff, the move man. On the ground again. Jackson bobbled the football, and he is hammered short, and Seattle will take over. Look at those players. They want this shutout tonight. They are well aware that last week against this team, the Raiders ran up 44 points, but San Diego got 37 against the Raiders. And they are about to shut the San Diego Charger team out, and they won it. 4:45 remains. The Seattle Seahawks, whom we'll watch November the 12th against the Raiders, dominating this game totally now. They have a 24-0 lead. And what a night Dave Krieg has had, and they leave him in. David Hughes powering over the right side. Bob Kreider, Charlie Young over there. Gil Bird makes the stop, but not before David Hughes picks up good yardage. He'll get 5 yards out close to the 7-yard line. Krieg on the night, 23 of 29, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. He gave up the lone interception to Billy Ray Smith in the 3rd period.
Have to be impressed with him, don't you? That Krieg is, he looks like he's a seasoned veteran, as they say. Young David.
It's hard to take him serious. I think it's tough for defenses to get up for the Seattle team without Kurt Warner. They say, who do we have to defend?
Kind of slipped up on people, this team.
Yeah. They don't have the most impressive statistics, but I think they're number 4 in the league in scoring, and that's pretty impressive with around 27 points a game.
First down, David Hughes out over the 13-yard line. A week from tonight will be the nation's capital. The Washington Redskins will be trying to rebound in that what's turned into a wild race in the NFC Eastern Division. Giants are in it. Cardinals, Dallas, Washington. That's going to come down to the wire. And of course, Atlanta fighting for respectability in the NFC Western Division. And San Francisco is making shambles out of David Hughes, left side, and David Hughes out to the 15-yard line where he's stacked up. Keith Ferguson, he was one of the few people around when San Diego was known really for a defensive team. I mentioned some of the big players, Louis Kelcher at the prime. Keith Ferguson was a rookie backup at that time. Big Hands Johnson, Louis Kelcher, Wilbur Young, all gone away.
Yeah, you think of the job the 49ers are doing defensively. Many of those names you just mentioned are playing up there.
Second down and 8. Krieg just keeping it on the ground, working David Hughes, alternating with Hughes and Morris. We saw Franco Harris earlier in the game, but just through the first quarter. Franco coming into tonight with only 167 yards and a 2.6 average. Not the kind of season that I'm sure that Franco Harris wanted it for his 13th season. Another flag down.
You think it's too early to wonder if maybe that's an indication that we won't see much more of Franco?
I don't know. Coach Knox mentioned today that he was counting on Franco in the latter part of the season, and we're getting there in a hurry. But I think Franco will be all right as the season goes on.
Holding against Charlie Young. He came in tonight with 12,117 yards. And, of course, Walter Payton off on a real rampage this year. Went over 1,000 yards yesterday. Payton now 12,626 yards. And Walter says he's not looking back. He's looking forward to 15,000.
I think he'll do it.
Yeah, my money is on him.
Of course, Tim Brown's mark that stood up for so many years. He only played 9 seasons. All of them 14 game seasons. 12,312 yards. Well, he chased him a long time, and they finally got the great Jim Brown. That was Zach Dixon. It is Dave Krieg moving over to talk to head coach Chuck Knox, and he knew it was either going to count down to the 2-minute warning or San Diego was going to use a timeout. And the second thing happened. San Diego used the timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Make no mistake about it, the Seattle Seahawks are for real. They really are. They went to the AFC Championship a year ago. They did it by defeating Denver in the playoffs. 9-7 regular season. Then they went down and they beat Miami. And then, of course, lost to the Raiders in the championship game. 1 game away from a Super Bowl. They have big plans this year. Third down, long yardage for Craig. They still keep it on the ground. It's David Hughes. Lyndon King was there first. It'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like they're trying to call another timeout.
Yeah, they want to call a timeout before the seconds tick off to the 2-minute warning. That's what they do. San Diego now with 1 timeout. It'll be 4th down. And we have timeout by the San Diego Chargers.
Well, I think being shut out must mean something to Coryell and his Chargers, because I must believe that's the only reason that they've called 2 timeouts at this point is not to get shut out. Well, we're talking about the all-time completion percentage in one game. It appears Craig has tied Zorn. I don't expect him to throw another pass. I really don't expect him to get back in the game.
He might not.
These fans are really fascinating here in San Diego. A lot of them have already left, but the ones that are here are having a lot of fun. They really are. It's like Halloween for them. They're starting their own wave.
Is that what
there is Jim Zorn, I mentioned earlier, the starter from the inception of the franchise back in 1976 until midway in the 8th game a year ago, and that has to hurt. He played some great games, Jim Zorn, over that period of time with a very weak football team. That's Jeff West banging it for Seattle. The fair catch is called for by Lionel James out of the 44-yard line, and we're going to get the 2-minute warning. 35-yard punt by Jeff West, who had been kicking very well up until this last punt. We'll be back in a moment. The Seattle Seahawks looking for another shutout. Remember, they opened against Cleveland. They shut them out 33-0. If they get it tonight, they'll be the only team in the league to have 2 of them. First down and 10. San Diego's trying to take that little laurel away from them. Firing over the middle is Dan Fouts as he continues to hang in there. Continues to try to get it done, hitting Ron Egloff short of the first down by about a yard. And back once again. There's a man open, and he fires it once again. It's complete, and it goes to the rookie from Alabama, Jesse Benros, who Ray Perkins moved to wide receiver last year at Alabama. He had a pretty good year down there for Ray Perkins.
That Ray wishes he had him back.
7th round draft pick. Dan Fouts likes him. Told us at the meeting this morning that he's a tough kid. He'll make the move for you, and he'll fight for the ball. 21-yard line, first down and 10. Fouts on the night, 24 of 36, but only 197 yards and a couple of interceptions. Fouts just does get it off. Tried to get it to Joyner, and he paid the price, and down he goes once again. He's only been sacked, what, I think 4 or 5 times tonight, but they've been pressure on almost every occasion. And he has been hit so many times the moment he delivers it. Yet he hangs in there. He does not want to be part of a shutout. You can bet on that. 2nd and 10. Oh. Down he goes. 6th sack.
That's a nice move on Fred Young's part there. I like to see
that. Third-round draft pick out of New Mexico State.
Yeah,
that has been brilliant on the special teams. That's the 38th sack now for Seattle. They move into a tie with the Chicago Bears for the league in that department. Flag is down. Fouts hit again.
Oh,
that was Jacob Green. Jacob Green playing some football game tonight, albeit against a injured Ed White.
Well, Jacob has had a super year anyway. He came into the game with 7.5 sacks. That was Jacob 2 plays ago that got to Fouts and hit him. Jacob's been there all day.
Hate to see him take that kind of beating, and he really has. They've been pounding on him all night.
Illegal motion against the Chargers.
Boy.
You know what that is? That is a broken synovial sac in the elbow, and the reason I know because I had one time. Actually, it's not even painful.
It doesn't look very pretty.
It just swells up, and it looks kind of ugly.
I've heard them called
not any kind of a serious injury.
I've heard them called barroom elbows, where you keep your elbow in the bar like that.
4th down, 19. Fouts puts one up in the end zone for Joyner. A lot of. He had the ball for a moment. Charlie Joyner had it for a moment. 3 defenders were there, headed by Kenny Easley and Dave Brown. And Seattle will get the football back with 1:06 remaining, and they're going to get their shutout, it does appear.
Tough night for the Chargers.
He almost had it just long enough if he just come down with the ball in the end zone.
Henderson, and he'll hold it for a moment.
Terry Taylor.
Okay, he's got it there.
Got it there.
Down. He's got it. I don't think he ever had total control of it.
Kenny Easley was right there on top of him, wasn't he?
Kenny Easley's been everywhere tonight. Kind of game that is fun to play. Awfully tough on the team that you're whomping up on, but it's really fun to be in a game like this. You can have a lot of fun. You can take the chances you ordinarily can't take. 1st and 10. Seattle at the 30-yard line. They're just going to run it down. Seattle, of course, in their time-killing formation. San Diego with 1 timeout. Will they use it? They do not. Second shutout, as I mentioned a moment ago. No team in the NFL has 2. They shut out Cleveland in the opening game, and now they are going to shut out San Diego because San Diego can't stop the clock anymore.
Our ball game on the 12th is going to be a good one when the Raiders come to town. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
Saw a quick look at Dan Fouts, and think of all the pleasure he has brought to so many football fans under the tutelage of this man, Don Coryell. You kind of hate to see him go through this kind of a game. Although I will not take anything away from Seattle, a game that would have been, I think, vastly different had the injured Kellen Winslow been available, had Chandler been available, had Holohan been at full strength. So many things, the injuries on the defense. And there is the man that was the architect of a brilliant piece of offensive work tonight, Dave Krieg. Final word in a moment.